All right, and we're live. Resident Evil. We gotta put that in there real fast. But
You
no,
gotta throw
Eddie.
that in there. No, you gotta say it like Alan Rickman and be like Resident Evil.
But no, Eddie.
Resident Evil.
There's a word on the street
4.
that they're going to do a Dead Rising new game. So it would have to be a remake of 1. That's the only. You don't make a Dead Rising 5. That's my.
I never even played 4, and I forgot 4 was even out until you just said it.
Yeah.
I haven't played anything past 2.
Yeah, Drew has played it, and then he was unimpressed overall. But it's one of those things. It's like y'all really fucked that up. I don't think y'all ever really understood what people really liked around the first Dead Rising, and it was like the time shit, the like exclusive things, the fact that there's only like 8,000 zombies or whatever, and you could kill literally everyone.
If you did that, you unlocked the Mega Man costume and instant boss kill.
Yeah, when I played Dead Rising 3, the first thing I wanted to do, because that was a launch game, so here's the big launch game for Xbox One, and then so I'm like, I'm gonna kill every zombie, and you just kill all the zombies, and you make it way around the block, and all the zombies are right back. You're like, what the fuck? It's just unlimited. Yeah, it's just unlimited. It's like kind of defeat what the hell the point of that game was.
Yeah, you can perpetually make great strides in progress on the first one. You know, of like taking them all out. 2, it was almost like they just went down. They downgraded ever since. It was like 1 was good, 2 was not as good but still decent, and then 3, it's like they
did an alternate version of 2 where you played as the photographer guy as well.
Yeah, I remember that. I never did play that one.
What? I got 2 to play with you, Chad. I remember that.
The load times were freaking terrible. You remember that?
Yes.
We played it, and they were so bad that we like never really got far in it because it was like, oh crap, I got to go 3 sections over. That's going to take me like 15 minutes of load time.
Yeah. That's something that this game, Resident Evil 4, has done pretty good. Did y'all have any performance problems like when you were playing?
A couple of times it was glitchy. Crashed once.
You had a hard crash on your new computer?
I had a hard crash once too, and it never happened again. It was like I was just doing something and it crashed back to Windows.
A few things. It was Windows related. Windows wanted to do something else.
It wanted to update in the middle of your game?
Probably. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call that a game crash. I would call Eddie needs to take care of his computer crash.
No,
had like a hard
Windows
crash.
shut the thing down and my computer reset by itself, actually.
That's slow computer.
Well, he's got a fucking 5600X, bro. We just got that shit. It was a good deal. It was like a 550. It's a Ryzen, so it's a 550 something or another was the board, and I ended up paying $70 for the board. And then it was like 100 something for the damn. It was like $160 for a damn a motherboard.
Combo.
Yeah, and so for like getting a 1080p system, that's a hell of a damn deal. Never mind the 5600. So that's a 6-core 12 thread. So it's 12 thread. That's a beast upgrade over what he had. And hopefully he gets. I knew that his computer right now would run Resident Evil 4. That wasn't my main concern. I wanted Monster Hunter to be settled and done and dusted. We couldn't. It's got 5 gigs of RAM, video RAM on the 1660. And I was trying to get more to get the textures up on Resident Evil, but I couldn't do it. Or it was something. I do know that the R engine is like one of the biggest fucking hogs as far as RAM that I know of. Last of Us, of course, beats it because Last of Us is broken as fuck, but. You could overload, like on Resident Evil 2, you could overload your RAM. It would say, Red, you've overloaded your RAM, and it wouldn't give a fuck.
I'm about saying 2, it didn't give a shit. Mine just kept on chugging along.
Yeah, so on 4, I heard this is a different story. You don't want to go over, and you're going to get somebody going to hit you. I got a 40.
2 didn't crash.
I got a 4090, and then a 5900X, so I got a TARD specs. But I got hitches too. I get hitches when you're hitting a load transition, and you'll know the character's about to show up because you'll get a little hitch. I don't know if you noticed that. And I also get a hitch between when I'm moving from one area to another and it's loading. And usually they would hide that shit in the door. No, it's like walking a path. And I don't know if this is just to try to preserve. I don't think they're going to be able to get rid of that. I don't know if it's because, it's a PlayStation 4 title or it runs on lower specs. But I noticed.
See, I never had that.
Yeah, you didn't notice that. It might be something where you just, if you got 4K textures or whatever it is, the Elgatos or whatever, when they, the Ganados, when they pop a bunch of them, they give me a little twitch, and it might not even.
And see, I was running mine in 1080p because the TV I had it hooked up to at the time, so it ran flawlessly in 1080p with my setup.
And you also, so with the 1080 Ti, you got 11 gigs of RAM, right?
I've got a 66 AMD card in it now.
Okay, so you upgraded.
Yeah, so it's I forget exactly what the specs are on that computer, but it's like a i7 7600 something.
Yeah.
But the only time I had any performance issues when I first played, I had motion blur on by default, and motion blur.
Yeah, that was some of the stuff we went through and had to switch things around.
As soon as I got rid of settings. The motion blur was like, it fucked up everything. It would like when he would go to open doors, it would get real sluggish, or he came out of a door and it would be like, that's got to go.
Yeah. There's no. And then, so you're still playing 1080p though, right? On that. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So if I was playing 4K, it'd be a totally different story. But since the TV I had it hooked up to at the time was it's like a Sony 65-inch, like 1080p, and I'm like, I'm not moving this to a different TV just to do 4K or even try it. So I was like, screw it.
Yeah, with a 6600, you would have to use their FSR shit. I'm not a fan of it. I tried it on Shadow of Rose. And I thought it was fucking. I thought it was worse. So you might as well play in 1080p.
You just don't like Shadow of Rose, do you?
Shadow of Rose is a fuck up, bro. And then, but so with this one, there's no DLSS. Some guy modded that shit in, but that DLSS, as of right now, crushes both of your FSR modes. And that some guy modded the shit in, so I'm like, okay, I've got the big dick turbo card. I was like, I can't be beat, right? No, I can be beat. When you have ray tracing on and that fucking hair. Chapter 5 is the raining chapter with the cabin. I got down to like 40-ish frames. I know the YouTube video looks really bad that I put out with it, but I didn't have, I noticed that shit, but it wasn't like unplayable. But I'm like, I'm gonna turn this crap off. So I couldn't even tell when I turned the ray tracing off because it's so gimmicky. Because I would think that at least you'd be able to see like Leon's reflection in the water. You can't. And it's like, okay, well, what the hell's the point of this? Because you could turn on what's called a spatial screen. It's SSPO, whatever it is. You can turn that shit on. It takes almost no performance. It gives you all that shiny gleam shit that ray tracing does as far as reflections. With no performance hit, you won't be able to see certain things. But it was like, that's good enough to me. And I turned that off. I turned Leon's fucking Pantene Pro V shine off of his hair, and we got pretty good.
Well, if you go up to the lake and you shoot it in the water several times, you get a nice secret ending.
That ain't a secret. It's been known since 2005, Eddie, but
Yeah, but they put it in this one, too.
If they didn't put it in it, people would be pissed. Yeah.
God damn it, I can't shoot the lake anymore. Did anybody else find that fight way easier in this version than the original version?
When we first did it, I don't think that Eddie knew that you could go left and right. And so you have to go left and right to get around like the rocks and shit. Yeah. And there's one, it's like, it's very fast. His does a quick spun around and he comes at you, and you need to go left or right on that one. Because if you're just trying to hit him in the mouth, you will never have a shot ready because you've already hit him before.
Take half your boat damage, and then he tries to eat the boat.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's a gimmick fight. It's not that bad, but you gotta watch a couple of things. And
it's like I found that the fights that I thought would be way easier were actually harder, and the ones that I thought would be harder were way easier. And that one, I went through it the first time, and I didn't even get any boat damage. But I was expecting it to be, because the original, the first time, you're like, holy shit, that was long and, kind of tough the first time you're doing it.
10 million spear hits.
I know it was scary as shit in the original. When you're in the water and you got to swim to your fucking.
Oh yeah, exactly. So you didn't have to swim, or cutting the rope off, after the fight's over. Yeah, and it was like, because I went into it like playing very cautiously, and I'm like, this was really, really easy.
Yeah, they took that part out.
Hardcore, he does a lot of damage, but it wasn't. Yep. It's more of learning that 1 or 2 moves that he got is bullshit. Other than that, it's not hard. Where I got my ass kicked was Mendez. Mendez whooped my ass.
That one, I think it took me about 2 tries to get that one because to me that fight in the original was really easy because first you
the original,
you had to shoot him in the spine, but then in the second part he would just stay in the rafters, and as soon as he come towards you, you just shotgun him in the face, he'd fall down, repeat. But that whole throwing stuff where it's like you're literally running back and forth trying to dodge the fucking, like the pieces of wood and the fucking fire on you all the time. It was
and then he throws flaming barrels and you can hit him. That was pretty cool.
When he's throwing those shits, is it better to be on the top or the bottom?
Oh, I just ran back and forth. When he would throw them, I just did Link's Awakening against the clown in the jar. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that where you
back and forth.
You just run to the left and turn around, and run back to the right. That was.
Well, I started doing like these kind of circles, but I wouldn't be able to see them as I'm running those circles. And then, it was I was having a rough time when he would do the double 2x4s. My big problem was in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna abuse my invincibility frames that aren't there. So I'm gonna sit on. I'm gonna try to climb the ladder or jump off the thing.
While he's throwing his shit, he'll nail you on the ladder.
I tried it. Didn't work.
Because I was trying to do reloads on the ladder like I would do in like the original Mercenaries, where you go to reload a gun while you're on the ladder, and when you get to the ladder, it's already loaded. And you'd be like, "Oh, that shit didn't work. You'd only put in like 3 bullets." But no, every time I would get stuck on something like that, I would cheese ball it with the freaking bolt thrower like the next time. Because like the first time he just beat the crap out of me. I was like, damn, this is pain. So what I did the second time was I went in there before I ran across the wall where he knocks you across the barn. I just loaded up that area with freaking like 5 or 6 exploding mines.
Oh, that's pretty good, yeah.
So as soon as he came in and the boss fight started, he immediately went into the second form because he just blew himself up as soon as he showed up.
And so they all stack, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's like you would just do that, and then when he would be up in the rafters, I just freaking I would shoot a freaking bolt mine over in the corner, and just when he'd go back to it, he'd freaking get blasted, and just... That freaking bolt thrower was a cheese ball gun as long as you didn't use the bolts and use the exploding mines.
Oh,
I never really used it. I should have.
And, I only used it for explosives because it was like, and I know what Steven was doing. Steven was like, I don't have to use ammo, but the problem is, it's like you'd have to load them up with about 6 or 7 of them, and then you'd be like, fuck it.
Yeah, it was the first. It's a completely different standard when you're running hardcore and you're freaking worried about your bullets, and so it's like that was the first gun I fucking maxed out, and then I think the what was it, the super ticket wasn't that expensive. It's like 60,000, and then I'd put a fucking damn 20 dang clip in like 4 or 5 guys, and then it's like you can get a headshot and then do a melee follow up like a handgun, but you're also like, yo, if I'm shooting this at eye distance, where's my bolt going to go? And I have to go get that motherfucker.
And you have to go climb the wall for it.
Yep, and then also your radius is pretty bad, so it's like, we're just going to put a whole fucking clip on this shitlord, point blank and rain into his chest. It's like, if he does a melee thing, I'm not even going to give a fuck. And then I would get the dang, I forgot their exact name, but the Ouroboros, I mean, not the Ouroboros, but the La Pragas that had the long whippy thing, just the regular ones. I'd fuck them shits
stage 1.
That's just called stage 1.
I forgot what they call it in the game, but I remember in the original it was just stage 1.
Yeah, I would load their ass up with that too. And then you get to the point where, they're climbing the fucking ladder to get you because you're somewhere else or you're posted up somewhere, and then you know what, we're just gonna put a bow in his face and then he's gonna fall down over and over again. Yeah. And but I ended up liking that boat gun a whole lot.
What about the flash grenades? You do the flash grenade tricks?
That kills the damn lost progress. I only used the flash grenades on the I don't know what they're called. They were the new ones. They were the ones that had the big like amphibian head.
Oh, the ones that the only weak spot they had was like in their mouth exactly at one point where they would open their mouth and
the centipedes.
Yeah, you would end up using like freaking 20 gun bullets on them or some stupid shit.
Yeah, I was like, this is ridiculous. So I started doing the math. It's like, you know what? I need a flash grenade. It's like,
I'm telling you, I lived off flash grenades in that game because I would come across like 4 or 5 guys, and it would be. I found out that I could like insta knife kill about 4 guys before the flash wore off. So unless you had like 10 guys coming at you at once, you could pretty much knock them down to like 1 or 2 guys and then just take them out easily.
Yeah, what I found is that on hardcore, you only going to get about maybe 3. And they'll be recovered, and so I don't use it that much. It's like when the situation like that, I put a grenade on their ass. But also because they take so many fucking hits, I'm like, okay, I've looked at the Punisher. I'm like, this thing penetrates, so I ran the Punisher the whole damn time. And
I have yet to buy that. I played through that game 3 times, and I have yet to actually get that from the freaking guy.
Yeah, the damage ain't all that, but you get the laser sight, and it fucking pierces. And so, any kind of one that was just one, I'm just going to shoot them in the face twice, and they'll stagger, and I'll freaking give them a damn roundhouse kick. But
so I'm surprised you didn't go with the starter pistol because it does the enhanced chance to critical.
I didn't know. I didn't know the things until like halfway through the game. You didn't even get to see what the hell the shit starts in. So I was looking only at the hell. I didn't know that you got. I thought 3 was the max on the damn upgrades. And you mentioned something. I think it's around chapter 7. You're well into the castle before they all unload.
Well, that's like I tried not to spoil too much for you, but I would be like, because you were like, man, these guns suck, and it's like there's got to be, and I'm like, just wait. Because they really balanced all the guns pretty well compared to the original.
Till, like late chapters, and then everything else is unlocked by somewhere in the castle. You get all the.
It's like halfway
stuff
through the castle.
Yeah, and then when you start on the island, you start getting exclusives or something.
When you start a fresh pro, I hear you get 6. You get the 5 upgrades right from the get go. So it would be like right down. It would definitely be a bolt. I would almost assume the bolt rifle would be freaking mandatory.
I would get the other rifle
on pro
because it looks cooler.
Because it looks cooler, yeah. That's how it. We know how you're gonna do promo. You're gonna do it with that damn unlimited bullshit ammo. We already know.
No, I don't think you could use that if you're gonna try to get the S+ rank.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to do like you can't do New Game Plus. You got to use start. You gotta
start from scratch on pro mode, and I've done it before on the original, and it was pretty rough.
I would imagine this one would be easier though.
15 saves to get the S+, which is not too bad.
You can only save at the end of the chapter. Yes, your only save.
No, that's not true.
You sure about that?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
You have 15 saves to get an S+, and so you can just stretch them shits out.
I thought it was like you can only save at the end of the chapter, and there's like 16 chapters you have to do the last one.
No, a lot of people online have just been picking and choosing which ones they want to do.
Yeah, you would. Different people are going to have different troubles on different things, and so you would definitely save. Like for fucking Mendez, you would definitely want to save. And then, but I think it's one of those things where you just need to play the shit out of it and then optimize what the hell you want to do, and then start narrowing it down. And then it might take you a couple goes, or you just you know about where you need to save. You got your saves pre-planned, and you just have to get to that fucking next save point. I felt that the way the ammo and shit was doled out was fairly good. Now I ran with almost every damn gun because I was like, if the TMP drops, I want to fucking have, or it's just there, I want to have that shit. But I know it seems to be you need to get a little bit low before they really start throwing some of that shit at you.
They would throw, for instance, if you wanted health items and you had health in your inventory, you would need not to heal yourself. If you're running real low in energy, you would start seeing tons and tons of green herbs, whether you used them or not. And if you were getting that's kind of how the game was tailored. That's like when people were farming the Vipers and early on in the game, they would go into that little river area when their health would be real low, and then they would nab up like 10 Vipers and sell them.
Oh, okay. So is it so if you only got a rifle, right? would you only at rifle drop?
Unless it's a stage drop, from what I could tell and understand, yes.
Okay.
Like, like in there's certain parts where it's like there's going to be a shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be shotguns here, whether you own a shotgun or not. There's going to be pistols here, whatever.
Yeah.
But
very few bolt ammo that was like that, as far as I could tell.
Yeah, it was like you hardly ever came up across bolt stuff, but I guess because they gave you so many freaking knives that you would just,
you could convert them.
There were a few places. I know when you fought the 2 blind guys and the 10 million dudes guarding them, there were some bolts and mines there.
I did that whole section with a bolt and I think 1 grenade.
I cheeseballed the shit out of it. I just freaking used the mine thing to shoot one of the bells, and then when they went over there, I had about 4 mines loaded on it, and they just all blew up.
I did not know that there was bells there until
It's all the way up at the top.
But I didn't use them. I kept running out of ammo. I had handgun, a couple of shotgun, a couple of rifle during my playthrough.
I got really cautious about ammo about the same time that Steven probably got cautious about ammo, and it was in that water room where it actually had the stages.
I was fucked, bro.
I was watching you play that, and I was like, he's about to get fucked. It's funny watching you play because I would watch you play and be like, well, he's about to get screwed here. And I knew when you went in that room, I'm like, you ain't got enough ammo for this shit. You're going to struggle. Because I had a shit ton of ammo, and I was out there like using my last couple of pistol rounds to freaking take out some of those guys. I was like, this is tight. This is real tight.
Yeah, I think
struggled. I ran out of shotgun and kept dying.
Oh, I didn't die, but there was like a point where there's like fuckers trying to get Ashley, and I've got literally just 3 bolt grenades. That's what I have, or some shit like that. I
used the same strategy that I kind of used back in the day. Was I would go all the way to the top. And I would watch her, but I ended up at the bolt thrower again. I did proximity mines to the left and the right of that little fountain. So when somebody would come up, it would blow up, and I would know somebody was actually coming up. So plus it would kill them. So that way I could concentrate solely on her and not have to worry about any of the people walking up to me.
I forgot about those guys, and they got me at some point.
It's like because I bet you I played the original probably 15 times all the way through in the past. So I was kind of like, it was very. I mean, it's kind of like for the most part, it's pretty true to the original, minus a handful of things they got rid of.
Yeah, it was pretty much the same. You get Ashley to get 2 of the things up, but they added that part where you have to get the lever. Which I actually like better. Because I hated that room in the original. That was like, shit, I have to do this room again. I mean, it was just agitating. It's like, here's the entertainment.
Yep. But I like that one way better. I thought it was way easier than the original was in that room because you didn't have the room where the guy's dropping down below when you had to go stand on the pedestals underneath the steps and all that shit. I really fucked up which actually worked out good. I didn't die, but the wine room, when you first come across one of those red guys that blows everybody's heads up.
Oh, God.
That room, I didn't leave the first room.
Control guy.
I didn't even realize there was more shit to do in there. I just walked in there and I saw him and I just started shooting at him. Is
that the part where the bridge raises up in the middle and locks you in?
No.
This is
part where you're in the basement and you
I think this one actually first runs off.
I know what you're talking about. I freaking
and the guys
destroyed
in
that
Glory,
section.
Los Blocos.
What I did is like
the lantern.
You did it way better than
centipedes.
I thought that it looked like almost a stealth section, right?
It was meant that you could do it either way. I didn't realize the room was as big until I killed everybody, and I walked in there and I'm like, oh shit, I could have came in here and done this way better. I ended up freaking using every bullet I had. I just waited in that room, and when they'd come through that little room, I would just bottleneck them in there, and then when I'd get about 4 or 5 of them together, that's when I would throw a flash at them. But then, like I said, I was like, okay, I don't hear anymore. I went in there, and I'm like, oh, this is a whole fucking room. I should have actually been, like, using the environment and go. I mean, it is like one of those, like, I don't think I took out a single guy there that wasn't already had his head popped open. And I was like, this could have been a lot easier if I'd have just went in there and looked around a little bit.
Oh, when I saw that he was making people's heads turn into centipedes, I would somehow get killed or whatever, getting my head bitten off. But I would run around and try to kill that guy first, and then take care of everybody else.
That's what I did on the second playthrough. I was like, now that I know that, because I didn't realize that room was so big. I was like, oh, it's probably just,
Or he dropped chandelier.
Is the centipede a one-shot kill you max life?
It can.
I'm about to say
that's about the only way it got my ass. But
it was like, it reminded me. What was the bugs? Was it in Resident Evil 5 or 6 that had the one shot? It was like that. It was like one shot your ass. Yeah.
So that I would think that'd be able to be the highest threat normal enemy. Then I might be wrong.
The highest threat normal enemy.
Probably.
For the castle, yeah, probably.
Because honestly, by the end of the game, I wasn't even using that freaking scope to take out the
regenerators.
The regenerators. The first one I came across, I didn't have the scope, and I was like, okay, well, I've knifed one of these in OG. How bad can this be? And I just took him out. So I ended up using it on
figure out the secret is that you shoot them enough, you actually see the plug gun, you can shoot that.
Well, I tried to blow them up. This one, I'm thinking that like a lot of shot will blow out, and then I could shoot something. It didn't work. At least not with the down bolt explosion.
No, not even with a grenade.
In the original, you could just use flame grenades on them. And just burn them out. But in this one, you don't get flame grenades.
I did notice that if they are like turned sideways or whatever, you can still see the progress in them. But if you shoot it, you're gonna just, I guess, hit their hip or whatever, and don't count. So
I tried on my second playthrough. Since you could add scopes to some of the other guns, I tried to do it on that. It was the LE5, I think, which was basically an MP5. That thing sucks ass.
You think so?
I hated it. I've even fully upgraded. I didn't like it because it had you remember it had a pierce thing for its thing, and I was like, oh, pierce. It'll pierce through because sometimes the regenerators would have one on their back. So I was like, dude, I'll just use that to take out regenerators, and it's like you'd end up using like damn 60 bullets to take out one regenerator, and you'd be like, fuck this thing.
Well, I mean, I liked that. I didn't use it all that much because you get so late, but I liked it a hell of a lot than that TMP.
The TMP sucked in the original. It sucked in this one.
Okay.
It's just a bullet waster. That's all it is.
I didn't use any of them.
Well, I mean, it's like then that's the only thing. It's the only thing that uses a submachine gun, right? For so long.
Yeah, there's only two submachine guns, and it's that one and that LE5, and they're just bullet wasters.
Yeah, there's a third one, but you got to unlock it, and I hadn't done that yet.
High Rider.
Eddie, yeah.
Eddie,
and that one don't really count.
I did something real stupid, Eddie. I seen that the CPQ or whatever it is, the last rifle. I looked at that. That looks like a goddamn AR. I thought it was like an AK-47. It's like, oh, it's got a 20 round clip.
It uses
the actual
rifle
good rifle.
Yeah, it uses the fucking. I was gonna make that my machine gun. I sold my TMP or whatever, and then I like start shooting it all up and like, wait a minute, my machine gun bullets.
I ain't got no fucking go. Yeah, you know what I did?
There's another thing that they took out. When you ran out of bullets and you went for the bullet upgrade, they cut that out to where you don't get a full clip.
They should, because I would OCD fucking game that.
It was cheeseball. I cheeseballed the shit out of it in OG professional mode. I would just be like, I would use it, and as soon as it would run out of ammo, I'd be like, I ain't reloading this thing. They'll reload it.
They have it in Village, and they clearly want you to have that shit in there, so they make bullets even tighter. But I would shoot a clip, run to the fat merchant, get the upgrade, then shoot a clip. It's like one of them things. It just made you go all in on OCD. It's like no, just get rid of it, or you get 2 bullets or something. And I think that's what happens.
You gotta burn your bullets, or you're gonna be using your handgun to take out mostly everything, and your handgun's gonna drop.
I was about to say, I think I used the handgun for like 98% of everything in the game.
Yeah,
dude, it's good. It's
second
fucking
playthrough,
good as shit.
My handgun was the one I used the most.
Oh yeah, I was like that in OG Resident Evil 4. I used the blacktail in it 99% of the time, and in this one I used the blacktail again because it was like fast. It did pretty decent damage and really fast fire rate.
Now, what do y'all think about the laser sight only being on a couple of guns?
I liked it
I never
because it
used
rebalanced it
for this one.
it made you actually in the OG original. There are certain guns that just you didn't fucking use. Nobody used the Punisher.
I did for at least one playthrough.
For one playthrough, yeah.
Just because it was free.
It was just, it sucked. I mean, in the OG original.
If it comes down to everything has the same aim, then the damage is. So Red 9 would be the best gun, right?
Yeah, but the only thing is it's a slower fire rate.
Okay.
And the original gun you start out with has that same extra % chance of popping heads off.
Yeah, and so did the Sentinel 9. So the Red 9 in this one, they nerfed it a little bit because it was like a mini Magnum in the original. It did like 6.0 damage, which was like freaking stupid high.
Yeah.
Well, they nerfed the hand cannon quite a bit. It's
they
not
nerfed
a one-shot boss kill anymore.
They'll
kill regular enemies in one hit.
The aim is fucking terrible also on it.
It's similar to the Broken Butterfly, right?
Broken Butterfly is
which one sucks more, Eddy?
Broken Butterfly is a little less damage, but the hand cannon, I'm going to just one-shot this chainsaw guy. Oh,
nope. It sounds like the only thing good about that is the infinite ammo.
It is.
You have to spend, I think, $1 million on it or something.
I don't know. I just bought a ticket on it. Here's the trick. When that ticket thing comes and you can just get it for because spindles are like all over the fucking game. I mean, you'll have you'll have 100 and something by the time you get done playing.
Yeah.
So what you do is you buy that ticket, and then on something like the hand cannon, you use that immediately on the hand cannon, and it does all the ammo upgrades for you. So you don't even have to do the ammo upgrades because the exclusive is already freaking unlimited. So it just auto fills the freaking thing. If you know what I mean. Yeah. So any of them that but I loved it for the freaking exclusive thing. Like when you'd be like, oh shit, I can add 5 times to my shotgun without actually having to upgrade the power. I mean, you still could do it on the shotgun, do the individual powers, but it just that 80,000 or whatever was cheaper than doing or doing one of those tickets was cheaper than doing the other one sometimes.
Yeah.
But could you actually keep getting those tickets?
Oh yeah,
is it a one-time thing?
Oh no, man.
They sell them to you again on the new game. Speaking of, and you guys can't see, but I'll pull this up for anybody who's actually watching on YouTube. The microtransactions are it's the tickets, Eddie. So let me read you out, and I'll tell you the prices. Okay, so the big one on the top is Resident Evil 4 weapon exclusive upgrade ticket times 5 A, which means there must be an AD. There's variants of it. Which means they're one time. So $2 a ticket is what they're charging for one-time tickets. And then there's a 3-time ticket for $7. So the best deal was getting the $10, Eddie. And then,
oh no, is there one that says purchase yellow jewels and red square jewels?
The only microtransactions they have is the tickets.
That sucks.
I could see that being to a tactical pay to win advantage on your fresh pro playthrough, a pay to win.
Probably.
Yeah, it would be. Of course, now, most people don't even know these fuckers are there. What they did was the classic Activision Blizzard thing where they released the game, it gets a good reviews, there's no microtransactions, pay-to-win bullshit. Then, 2 weeks later, they, here's our tickets. We're going to sell you fucking tickets. They did the same thing in Revelations 2 when you buy one up man. But I think that I'm almost saying that they made the whole game easier to try to justify that you don't need these tickets, but we're going to sell them to you. But we're going to make the game easy. It was some weird-ass shit. This one seems more basic. Here's your fucking tickets. They're expensive. They have C's and D's and B's, which makes me think these are one-times. That you could only buy these one-time used tickets one time a piece, and so then you'll be through all of them. I think that's how that works. The rest of the DLC is in the deluxe edition.
Yeah.
Me and Chad got ours from CD Keys, Eddie. You need to thank your Russian overlords, all right? I don't know whether it's Ukraine. I don't know whether it's the Ukrainians or Putin. We'll just assume that both of them helped you out to get you get me a fucking 30% clearance or whatever. What did we pay? What was it? $50? I think
it was like $50 for the. I think it was like $50 and some odd cents for like the deluxe version.
Yeah.
Which was like what, like $69, $79, something like that.
It was more than that. I think I was 30% off, so it's probably around about $80. I didn't.
Yeah. I think it was like $79.99 or something. I did the same thing for Resident Evil 2 Remake. It's one of those. I'm sure it's shady as shit, but it works every single time I've ever done it.
They're getting those tickets somewhere in another country or whatever at a lower rate, and then they're selling them to us. That's all I think's happening.
What I understood, and I don't know how CD keys works, but I was listening to a podcast one time where they were talking about like scams and stuff, and they would do these things where they would they would use that's how they would money launder. So when they would get like illegal credit cards, they would use it to buy like online currency to a game and then turn around and sell it at a discounted price so they could get cash for it. And that's how they would basically get cash out of doing it.
Okay.
They'd flip it.
All right.
And I don't know. I'm sure that gets done. Who knows which ones it does it, but it's an interesting concept.
They're all gray sites. They're all shady as fuck. I think CD Keys, at least from my experience, is the best of the ones. And I've used them for a long time.
I've used them several times. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap.
I got freaking Tekken 7 retail at $30 launch. I'm going to get Street Fighter 6 there. It's $45, Chad, for the freaking standard. I'm like, these days, counting inflation, they want like $70 anyway. That's almost 50% off. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I think I got Resident Evil 3 Remake pre-ordered it like $30-something. Yeah, it's like something ridiculous.
That's where I got mine too. And so that's the one you played, I guess, Eddie. Because you didn't buy it, did you?
I borrowed it from you. I played it a couple of times, and then I was like, I'm done.
Why would you play it a couple of times?
It was a mistake. He was drunk. It was fucking. My Resident Evil 2, my entire playthrough was off of Jason's copy. Yeah. So
I'm talking about Resident Evil 3.
I know. That's what I said.
Resident Evil 2, I waited till it was cheap. I played it a whole lot.
Because I didn't have it. You couldn't borrow it from me. You couldn't borrow it from me. You needed to suck up the Jason, man.
The $20.
Yeah. Yeah, it ended up
or whatever it was.
Plus, which I was playing other stuff at the time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I kept an eye on it.
So what was your hardest section for both of you?
I'd tell you what section I had the most deaths in.
Boss fights with no ammo.
You didn't have no ammo?
I never had that.
I kept running out of ammo from time to time, and I would have to do stuff, run around and scavenge, make sure I got everything. I was on my pro playthrough. I kept running out of ammo and had mostly handgun.
The Ben Desert was my most deaths. I think second was Ashley versus that knight. The first knight around the corner killed me 3 times. I'm like,
I think I died in that section 9 times.
Yeah.
I think I died more in that section. And the reason is because I got fucking lost. I got lost as shit trying to get back to where I was supposed to. And I ended up going I kept going the wrong way until I finally realized I was going the wrong damn way. And I was like, at that point, I was like frustrated. And I think I died like 9 times.
Yeah.
I died a whole bunch trying to get that achievement where you don't use the lantern.
See, I thought it's like, okay, I was in Resident Evil 1 mode. It's like, okay, there's a knight. He's fucking slow. I'm just going to walk backwards. No, fuck no. He hits you in the tip and gets your ass. It's like, no, you got to get a run.
Yeah, bait him out, and then you run up them stairs.
Yeah. You needed to bring his ass up some and then go around him. So the first enemy was where I got like 3 or 4 deaths. I enjoyed that section for the most part. Where's this?
It was better. It's better than the original Ashley section.
Yeah, where's this Ashley armor I hear about? I never seen it.
You got to get an A rank.
Okay, so it's an
unlock it.
Okay.
I hadn't unlocked it yet. I keep getting B rank. I got way too many saves.
Too many saves.
I gotta start over again. I don't want to.
I can't remember if I unlocked it or not. I can't remember.
I got my infinite rocket launcher finally.
$2 million.
I hadn't bought that one yet. Well, technically, if you use the Luis charm, it's like like 100 and like 1.6 million or something like that.
What's your best charm so far?
The one where it makes me run faster.
There is one?
Yeah, but you have to. you got to use the striker shotgun, which sucks ass in this game.
The striker shotgun. Which one's that one?
That's the one that has it looks like the Terminator 2 gas gun.
Yeah, that's the one
I call that a street sweeper. That's not it?
No, the final one.
The final one. I must be
No, the final shotgun, the one that has
the one that you bought and sold almost immediately on YouTube.
I thought that was a street sweeper. It's not?
No, it's the striker.
Okay.
But it looks like it's got like a cylinder on it. I'm talking
about the last gun. What was the last one you get?
That's the street sweeper.
Killer 7?
No, the shotgun. The last one.
The last one is that striker street sweeper gun with a big fucking radius. That
it
has like
with the extra wide gun.
Yeah, I picked that up, and then as soon as I put the damn thing up to look at it, I'm like, oh no, because my Resident Evil 5 memories came in. I was like, oh shit, I just fucked up.
Yep. Because what it is in the original, the exclusive for that was like 99 ammo. You could have 99 rounds in it, which was like insane. But
yeah, but it's like an ammo hog.
It was an ammo
short
hog.
Range.
It's so short range that it's just
that's what I use it for.
Well, it's just the thing is it does massive damage, but unless you're like literally have the gun shoved up the guy's ass, all the damage doesn't go to that guy.
Yeah,
because it's going to go out the sides of it.
It one hit kills those things when they open their mouths, and I can get right up to them.
Oh, fuck that, because I ain't gonna let myself get close to that prompt.
Close.
Yeah, fuck that, Eddie.
Yeah,
that's why you having trouble in the pro mode. You gotta be a chicken shit.
Yeah, you gotta be active. But...
No, I've killed them with that gun before.
I'm sure you have, but that don't mean.
Yeah, that's why he keeps running out of ammo.
Yeah, I keep running out of ammo, just shooting groups of dudes together. And I'm sitting here with the handgun.
I never even tried that charm yet. It's like you get 8% movement speed, like faster run walk or whatever.
That would be noticeable, but
it's noticeable. But then you get stuck with a shitty shotgun.
Okay, so you pull that shit out to run.
Yeah.
No, you have to actually have the charms equipped, but do you have to use the gun to do it
in your hand?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really use that gun too much since I got
It's just
two guns with infinite ammo. One blows me up, and the other one, one hit kills everything except bosses. I killed the salamander with it either.
I think the charms. I ended up getting one that was 30% off knife repairs and 30% off armor repairs, and I used those like all the way through the game. And then the other one I think was like increased melee hits or something like that.
Cool. I figured there's got to be some better shit out there. The best one.
I hadn't gotten them all.
When I go back in, I need to repair my armor. I put that 801 on, repair my armor, and then take it off.
Yeah.
And then I've got one that's like 5% discount on upgrades. And that's pretty dang good over a long period of time.
Have you guys gotten the Viper one where you get extra health after eating a snake?
Yeah.
I've got a bass one. I don't have the Viper one.
I got like a Viper one. It's like some percentage thing or whatever. It's like.
What about a beetle?
I didn't know until I seen it one time. It's like if you make a red and green and yellow herb, you get more max life than if you just did a yellow and a green. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I ended up maxing out life. They were still dropping that. Well, it was before they. I thought there was only be so many, and if I got all of them, I would hit the max. No, that's not.
No, they made it where you were meant to get all of them.
Yeah,
it's almost like they made it like in the original where you were supposed to max your life and Ashley's life, but since there was no,
Ashley gets one hit and then it's game over.
Yeah, so but it's like since they got rid of her health bar, then I guess it's like well now there's plenty.
I guess I'll talk about Ashley. I like Ashley a pretty good bit. I've got
a she's way better in this
I've got a question. This is you guys can answer this. You get her. You see her phone before you see her. You flip it around. You get her sorority. Was that in the original?
No.
So this is definitely saying that she's in the college sorority age.
Yeah.
She was definitely in college in the original. It's just
At
she didn't
that
look
time,
like
she got grabbed by whoever. I don't know in the original, but in the remake, it
was Krauser.
Made to be
supposedly.
Krauser.
Yeah, in the original, it's supposedly Krauser.
Now, what the fuck? I done lost my train of thought. Dude, in the original one, first of all, she's annoying as fuck. Leon! And then the thing is, you could just make her hair black and she'll be straight up a Japanese fucking waifu. Just it wouldn't even be close, especially with those giant ass Japanese ears.
Well, you saw the girl that they copied her off of, right?
I've seen the real model of the new one. Oh, are you talking about the original one?
No, the new one.
Yeah. Of course, she's probably get 7 bajillion followers on Instafarts or whatever.
I'm sure.
I liked the sharper features. I also like the jacket. She takes the jacket off, and like about a third of the way through, or 2/3 or whatever.
It's when you rescue her after you fought Tim and Regenerator's chasing you around.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, I liked her. She did not drive. She was annoying as fuck in the first game.
Oh yeah, she was terrible. Honestly, when she got captured a couple of times in this one, it didn't seem like so stupid as it did in the original, because I don't think she disappeared as often.
Yeah.
You remember, like in the original,
chase him down.
Yeah, it's like, well, in the original, like you'd be like, every time you turned around, she got kidnapped, and you'd have to go find her again. Like the fucking the bugs took her one time, and the fucking damn something else took her another time, and it was just like one thing after another of her just fucking damn getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
And this one, I mean, she really only gets kidnapped. Let's see,
she runs off
2 times. Yeah, she runs off, which is, that would be one time. And then the second time, it's like
the dude grabs her when you're in the cage.
And then right after she gets out, you get out of the cage, she basically gets captured immediately. They just keep her.
Yeah.
And then what's his name walks off with her. Yeah.
Now, Krauser, to me, when I first played through Resident Evil 4. Now I played it in 2005. I rented it from GameFly, but I didn't actually go through it until right before 5 came through. And then we get to Krauser, and he feels like this guy just felt like he popped out of nowhere, and they're just kind of just making some shit up. That's what I felt.
They did. That's exactly what they did in the original.
He was some kind of backstory with Leon where he disappears.
The way it was presented, I didn't give a fuck about him. And this one,
they did the same thing to Luis in this game. They actually gave him a little bit more story.
Yeah.
That I did like.
Yeah. Because honestly, Krauser, when he shows up in the original, you're like, there's a little bit of backstory of like, oh yeah, we work for this guy, and you're like, I get the impression he faked his death, but that's essentially what you get.
Okay.
You don't get anything else. This is like early on. It's like I think even in the opening they show him for a second when they're doing like Leon's backstory. I think.
Yeah, I think so. And they introduce him before you even got Salazar and freaking. I don't even know. Even before I think you even see or know who Sadler is. Really, you might get just a brief.
Well, you see a picture of Sadler in Mendez's room.
Yeah, but
this is creepy looking dude in a cloak.
So I love that Krauser fight. And this setup to it where you're going through the little shit.
I liked it due to the fact it didn't have quick time.
The idea that they got rid of all the quick time shit was awesome as hell.
It was still pretty hard. I had to figure out you just block all of his attacks and then wait till you kick him in the face, knife him a couple of times, keep doing that, and it'll just go to a cutscene. And you had to have a ton of health. That's one thing I kept running out of was health items.
I just turtled
at the wrong time.
It was a passive aggressive. The first time you fight him was there. I've realized it's like if I go and just slash at this shit, he's just gonna armor through my crap. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna wait to deflect, and then usually about the two or three parries, he would be stunned and you get a kick off, and then maybe a stab, and then later on you had your gun. There's a second time you fight him before you get to the final time where you're in a kind of a closed area and he jumps down. He has a TMP or something first. I just fucking took my damn LP and put it right in his face and shot him so fast that he just had to jump down. And then so I went in there and did practically the same thing. And then except this time you could shotgun him a little bit. It took me a couple things to realize in the first fight. There's like life and shit here that I could get my health back up, and then you had to learn the patterns. If you mashed the wrong button on at least hardcore, you're fucked. It was like you had a little bit of a warning, but I really liked the setup. The Krauser, it felt fucking badass, and I had the original music playing, and so it kind of like this. You felt like almost like you're in the end. Remember the end of Code Veronica with the fucking badass music pops up and you're trying to run away. That's what it felt like, and it was top notch. Way better than what I originally felt of Krauser was like, oh, here's an asshole. I don't know what the fuck he is. I'm just gonna kill him and be done with it.
There was a couple of things in the original that they did that with, and like one of it was and Eddie remember what was the boss fight that was like something 13 or something, experiment
U8.
13. That's what it was. U8. That guy
they cut that out,
and that was one of the things.
Coolest monstrosities.
It just felt thrown in. Like it was just like in the middle of the game. There's like, we gotta throw this in just to have you do something.
Yeah.
So when that was missing, it was like it's like it was not necessary to put it in the remake.
It's mentioned in the game, but you don't see them.
Yeah, and it was like it just felt like something. There is a couple of things I did miss that wasn't in this one.
What's that?
Before you fight Mendez, I think you have to go get when you go to fight Mendez, before Mendez in the original, there's the little trolley things on the air, the air ride things.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have that, and I was like, that was kind of fun in the original game. Where like the guys were trying to throw things at you from the other carts and everything.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that.
And that was kind of cool. Or when you go up to the castle for the first time and the car's coming at you and you shoot it and it falls over, and then when you walk past it, all the guys get out and come at you.
They didn't have that either. I was expecting it, but like, nope, truck's not moving.
I
it does have a treasure on it.
But at the same time, it was like I didn't really miss it. It was just like, oh, they took that out, But that was about the only handful of times that I was like, something's not here that I kind of miss.
They took out the thing where you had to choose a pathway to get to get through the rest of the village. You had to go one path and fight El Gigante, or go to the other one and deal with the Chainsaw Sisters.
I remember that. So they're both in here this time, right, Eddie?
Yeah.
Well, both. No, you only fight like the El Gigante. You only fight 3 El Gigantes total.
No, you fight 4. One of them's not a typical boss battle. You take him out with the cannon.
Oh yeah. So I guess he counts too.
There's only 3 blind guys though.
Yeah. I like that room with the freaking blind guys in this one, because I thought both those boss fight. I mean, well, not really boss fight. I thought both those sections were way better than they were in the original.
Yeah.
Because it was like the
atmosphere. You have to actually do some running and dodging, because as soon as he hears those chains, he runs at you.
I like the idea of the chains, because I was like, in the original, you just kind of like walk real slow and just pop him from the back, and it was really oversimplified.
Yeah, I kind of realized that. I don't remember, but I kind of realized that fight was, although he would probably fuck you up. I wasn't respecting that fight.
I died a lot getting that achievement. Where you just kill him with a knife.
No, I ain't looked at no achievements, Eddie. But
I didn't even know this game had achievements. Does it?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. It's like, who gives a shit how many achievements somebody has?
There's this. I would be more interested in that CP point shit than the actual achievements. They're not the same thing, are they?
No.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, they kind of are.
No,
Some of them
they're not, Eddie. Don't be bullshitting me, because there's like 10,000. There's 10,000 of those CP things to do, and there's only like 40 achievements. So maybe there's some locking, but they ain't the same thing.
Yes, some of them do.
Okay, yeah.
But I've done most of those challenges, I believe.
I found it's like in the CP points, there's only 3 weapons to buy, and there's only a handful of costumes. The rest of it's just bullshit.
As you go through the game, you'll have enough for those, because I've already bought.
Yeah. You don't even have to You don't even have to go after them for points, because I mean, who's going to buy the models and the freaking?
I mean, I would if I'm sitting there just trying to do everything. I would, but I don't care about looking at them. I just want to collect them. But it's how many you got, Ed? You got all of them?
I don't have the ones for the shooting gallery. There's a few others I don't have the ones where you buy all the guns or anything.
Okay. Are you able to afford all of the shit in the little CP shop?
I could probably buy a lot.
Oh, so you just haven't done it yet? Okay. That's what I haven't. I'm like, is there something here where I need to save a bunch of money? Because I would definitely want the $2,000 for the guns I don't have. But other than that,
I already got the hand cannon out of the shop. So
for breeding mercenaries, right?
Yeah, for getting
let's talk
Mercenaries.
About, let's talk about Mercenaries for a minute.
Mercenaries, they cut out a character. They cut out Wesker.
He's in the game. They already know he's in the game.
He's at the end of the game.
He's playable Mercenaries in the game. He's a DLC.
I was about to say I've seen the model online, so he's already technically
him and Ada are in the game already. They just gotta. It's already been data mined. It's just he's gonna be part of the separate Ways DLC. I don't know if what they're gonna charge or anything like that. But I'll probably get that. So, but Mercenaries.
I like the original one. Yeah. The original separate Ways and assignment data.
Yeah, Mercenaries is easy as fuck.
Dude, man, I haven't even unlocked the characters in it. I just went through all 3 or 4 stages with Leon and got the hand cannon and was like, why would I do this again?
Yeah, I just waited till I unlocked Krauser and just got Krauser and did all of it.
Dude, I didn't even know
Krauser was there.
I didn't even know what to do, and I would get the first time I played Village with Krauser, I didn't know what the fucking character, and I killed every fucking enemy and had like 2 minutes left. And then with Louise, I'm just trying to let me do. I was going to do explore the level, find the little time bonuses, and I ended up killing like 130 damn enemies because they're like all over your fucking ass. And I had to S rank it in the first go. It's like this is like easy as shit compared to the ones we're used to.
Yeah. The OG one was far harder because you had to get
that one just took forever. Yeah, but I did it. It took about a couple years.
It took the original was way harder, and that's how you got the hand cannon in that one.
Everybody, and Leon was the worst.
Yeah, because he was like not, and in this one, it's like I literally because is there only 4 stages? Is it 3 or 4?
There's only 3 right now.
3 stages.
I think there's supposed to be 2 more later on.
It's like village, castle, island.
That's right. Yeah, and it's literally like I went through there with Leon on all 3 and got S rank and got the hand cannon, and I'm like, I'll come back to this, and I've yet to come back to it.
I'm probably not going to.
You should get that hand cannon. You don't need to.
Honestly, I wasn't impressed. It's like as soon as first of all, if you can die, if you have an S rank and die, they'll give you the fucking score. I didn't. Yep. I fucking was hunk, and I was damn wrecking shit. And then as soon as some monster pops up, like a boss monster, you just press the little control button, whatever the fuck it is. You're just gonna be broken as fuck, and it just destroy their ass. And so it just almost all the other strategy seems to be gone. And I think some of the other things is people will dump their guns so that they will like only have if you have a handgun, just dump it, and then only your like other gun would drop ammo.
Just one gun.
That seems to be about the extent of the strategy. Now I'm sure to get the 150 at the fastest possible, there's probably strategy there, but it's just like I ain't seeing it, man. Not being 2-player is a huge knock, and being just ridiculously easy is like, I almost felt like it was like assisted mode.
It was way easy. I was shocked because like literally I only played each level one time with Leon. It was like, crap, I got S mode. I thought it would be like I'd get a B or something or an A and be like, well, if I do a little bit better. And it was like, and I don't even think I came close to dying on any of them. I mean, I just played. It was like playing the regular game where you're in the village the first time. You're just like hitting and running. As long as you stay away from everybody, you're good to go. And it was like, holy crap, this is really easy.
As long as you don't try to knife fight the chainsaw guy, you're good.
It wasn't actively awful the way Village Mercenary was, but they didn't do nothing for me, man. I'm worried that they kind of don't know what the fuck actually people feel about mercenaries. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's one of those things is you make this second thing 2-player and we're just all happy. But I haven't been impressed with their little bonus modes on these things.
I think they just throw them in there while they freaking is a free bonus.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they did with Resident Evil 3 Remake. They just kind of threw that one thing in there that nobody ever messed with.
And are you talking about the entire different game, or like was there a mode?
There was an entirely added on game. Wasn't it like Resistance or something like that?
That's just them being idiots. I don't want them fucking up my mercenaries, but I'm not. They called whatever the fuck was in Village mercenaries. Maybe they patched it to be better, because I know you can be different characters now, but it was actively awful. It was terrible.
And Heisenberg, and then you had to actually work to unlock Lady Demetresque. I unlocked Heisenberg, and that was about it. I just just got bored with it.
It's awful. It's just straight up Eddie. And this one's easy as fuck, and I don't feel like I need to go back to it. I wanted to get my hand cannon, and it was like almost no effort at all to get the thing. And
that's one thing I need to do is the handgun knife run to get that achievement.
I'm sure you will. Hell, there's so many things you can set up. You just you got your R9 for damage. You got other ones for like any kind of accuracy you need.
Get to use the hand cannon, infinite hand cannon. Just mow everything down.
While we're on the negative, in my opinion, Mercenaries is a negative. What do you think about Ada?
Ada was some of the scenes she was in were some of the same scenes that I remember from the original, where she shows up when you're about to go into the maze. She shows up when Leon's leaving to go to the island, and I forget where else she shows up, but she has more conversations.
It's boring conversation.
It's boring. I think they wanted her to sound cold and careless, and I think it went way too over. Because in the original, she seems very charismatic.
Yeah,
and you would be like, oh, I can understand how this person would be the way she is, and then it's like in this one, it's like she's very cold and calculating to like too much of a fault.
But in this one, instead of talking to Krauser, she's talking to Luis.
Yeah. Which made a little bit... I think they really did a better job of Luis, because I could care less about that character. And he was dead so soon in the original that you really didn't have time to even give a crap about him.
He looked like a douche in the original, man. Just be straight.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas in this one, it's way later.
Backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking of Louise, did you like
Ada's character? Better? I just want to see what Separate Ways would be like, and if she fights anything extra special.
I mean, if she's got the same voice actor, it's gonna be difficult to care about her. Just try to find a way to jump off. Just do the Abby thing. Find a way to jump off a cliff and kill yourself.
Yeah, and that's the thing is she just seemed, I don't know, man. I think they wanted her to sound cold and like careless. But it just was way over the top of just like
keep Leon at a distance. That's why he's gonna chase you.
I don't know. And then the internet, the waifu brigade, fucking declared war on the damn voice actress or whatever. But
yeah, I mean, it was just one of the things. It was like she just. If you go back and watch that original scene where they meet up for the first time in the library or by the garden or whatever, it's like, wow, that was like an energetic scene. And then it's like you see this one and it's almost like kind of, whatever. It's the same concept, but it was just kind of dry.
Yeah.
The original one was better fight. And she has a flash grenade hidden in her sunglasses.
But, I just, Ada ain't doing it for me. I never particularly cared for her anyway, but what were you saying about Louise before?
Oh, it's like him being on the cart thing was way better too. You remember the mine cart level from the original?
I don't remember.
Yeah, that you did by yourself. And I don't know if it was one section or two.
It was one. Yeah. You stayed in the cart the whole time. The only thing they broke up in the original like that was that was another thing they got rid of was the Ashley truck scene where she drives the truck and you sit in the back while the guys come running up.
Yeah, and you gotta shoot the guys and everything, and you gotta do puzzle stuff, and guys piling onto the truck and everything. Yeah,
that they got rid of that, which was fine because it was unnecessary. But the mine cart, I actually thought was kind of fun. It was like it was different.
Louise is like, turn this way, it's gonna flip.
Yeah, shit like that. It was just more energetic.
There, I still cannot actually get through there undamaged.
On the cart?
Yeah.
I did.
You know what's funny? The first time I took hardly any damage, and then the second time I was like, God dang it, why am I taking so much damn damage on this? It was so weird.
No, I didn't have no problem with it.
But it was fun. I mean, because basically, you had infinite ammo virtually.
You just had to keep reloading and make sure when Mr. Chainsaw shows up, you pay more attention to him.
He never even got a prompt on me, I don't think. I guess you could press E if he tried to do something.
No, you just shoot him enough where he goes away for a while.
I shot his cart and it blew up and he went bye-bye.
Oh, you shut the cart?
Because I found that the carts have life
so you blow his cart up instead of shooting him in the face. Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess you could shoot him in the face, but I was just like, I'm just going to shoot his cart, and it eventually just went kaboom.
Oh, that's kind of cool. As hell, you have to
sit there. I could never do that. I tried doing that. He just chainsaws my cart, and I'm dead.
You know why, Eddie? You know why? Because you didn't use a keyboard and mouse, okay?
I used a controller also.
Yeah, I use a controller.
No, when I told Eddie I was playing the keyboard and mouse, he literally shook his head at me. That was the literal. Like, how can you do that? That's fucking sacrilege.
I played it with the controller because I was lazy and I wanted to sit on the couch and play it. But I knew that there was a lot of times in this game where if I had a keyboard and mouse, I'd be like, this would be a whole hell of a lot easier. Especially like shooting range. Shooting range would have to be 100 times easier with a freaking mouse and keyboard.
There's so many guns that have that zoom in thing that the Remake 2 does, where you're like, okay, you got to hold this thing down for a half second for you to even get a good shot. And so by the time you do that with your controller, you've already also got a beat on them. But there's a lot of times where that's one of the things I'm like, I'm not giving up. We're laser sighting these guns because I want to shoot fucking, some Ganado bastard's going to light his little cop tower and just fucking beam his ass from freaking down 100 yards out. And no problem other than the sway that Leon naturally has. If we could just cap the shit out of him. And
be a sniper with a Magnum.
Yeah, well, in the Killer 7 you can, but the fucking butterfly.
Killer 7 was freaking awesome.
Oh, try that with the hand cannon. It'll take you forever.
No, it's going to suck ass, man.
They balance the weapons pretty well. Even the bolt action has its positives in this game. And in the original game, the bolt action was like, that's what you used on your first playthrough to get the semi-automatic, and then you never touched it again. You sold it immediately.
I kept the bolt action for my first playthrough and then dumped it for the other one.
So in Resident Evil 5, that bolt action was fucking good because it was big damage. And, you didn't even need a headshot. You would just hit any of those guys and they would go down. Here you still need the headshot, but I loved my bolt action. I went back and rebought it once I could see the exclusive tickets. Like, wait, this thing does 2 or 3 times more damage, plus you get your 3 times critical. It's like I can see the damn damage. But no, on your keyboard and your mouse, it's like your space bar is parry instead of the left bumper, and your fucking thumb's just sitting there. So it's pretty much anybody try to parry my shit. I just parried everything. As long as I had a knife, they weren't going to hit me with fucking.
You could parry pretty much damn everything in this game. You could freaking parry grenades and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking damn Molotov cocktails. They throw them at you. You can fucking damn parry that shit. It was insane.
It was just like a fucking Street Fighter moment. Just fucking lift your hand out.
Parry the fucking damn shit. And then it's like, did y'all ever get the Savage knife?
I've got Krauser's knife. I don't have the
No, I've not done all the thing where you shoot the statues to get the primal.
Yeah, but that's what it is, the primal knife. Yeah. Because I ended up getting that one on my second playthrough because I ended up missing half of them on the first part of it, and then by the second part, I was like, oh, I got all of them now.
I'm missing 5. I'll have to look it up.
I've only gotten 5.
You've only gotten 5? What the fuck, Eddie? You can't hear nothing?
I paid too much attention to getting the treasures.
Yeah, but I ended up coming across
90% of them because I was looking for treasures.
I was looking at the treasure map. I'd go to the treasure.
I would be like, oh my god, it's like there's
gems.
Those aren't.
It's like you'd forget.
They're not on a new playthrough. It's once you top them, they count for all your playthroughs.
Yeah. Because if you go back and find one, it's like broken.
Yeah.
You have to rebuy those treasure maps when you do a new playthrough too.
I've seen that.
Which is, I mean, after you've gotten a few things for those spinal things, like I said, you end up with like hundreds of them. You're just like they're just there.
Yeah, I love the way that the spinal, I guess, economy works, where you can repurchase some things. Like, say, I could directly turn this into those little whatever
gold
little crystals, or the ticket, or not the tickets, the gold medal coins to go and do a run.
I'll probably need to actually spend all mine to get all those coins to finish getting all the little trinket things.
That's how they're gonna get you to play 45 times. You're gonna need one. They're gonna call it literally miser ring, Eddie. It's gonna be like, oh, you get the Miser ring, and all of your money goes into your deck cannon damage, and you're like, I can need it real bad, and then they're gonna give you that shit. It's gonna fuck
you. I gotta play to get the coins.
Yeah, but I ended up like the case I ended up using was the one that dropped money more often.
That's what you did. I did that half the time, and I switched it.
Because I was like, I just need, as long as I've got freaking ass loads of cash, like you can weaponize anything if you've got enough gold going for you. And I was like, I never switched it. I've been doing that one ever since the get go. I was just like, give me more money.
Yeah, I was doing that, and then I wanted more gunpowders, and so I switched to the gunpowder one.
I had the gunpowder one first, and then I switched to the money one.
Yeah, I would think as far as actual bullets, was it the default one with the extra handgun bullets pops was probably good. I haven't really bothered with it.
I like I said, I've played through it 3 times and I never bothered to even swap it. I was just like, oh well, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I thought I would start running. I only ran out of ammo, like got real tight, only about a handful of times, and then by then it's amazing how you would go from having no ammo to like having kind of a surplus within like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
As soon as you get past the part where you don't have any ammo, in the next section there's a ton of ammo everywhere.
Yeah, you just like you'd reload yourself really quick, and you'd be like, oh, I'm okay now.
Now I had a Mandela effect on Salazar. Is there not a fucking rocket launcher in the goddamn glass case in the original?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So it ain't me. All right.
They give you a free one in the original game in a glass case. They don't give you a free one in this one.
So I knew that you could buy one, and I was going to wait, and I was going to use that shit on Solomon or whatever the fuck his name was, and then none of that never came through, and I'm like, oh, I'm fighting him right now. Oh, I don't have to use 5,000 bullets.
Just throw some eggs at him.
I didn't have any eggs.
The egg bypass is like the first like stage of him.
Okay. In the original he's like a wall, was he not? Am I wrong?
Yeah, he's basically a wall in this. Yeah, in this one he was more mobile.
He was like a giant face, and you had to shoot him in the eye, and then the back part opened up when he took enough damage, and you shot that.
Like a big, huge bullet sponge, if I remember right.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I always thought he was going to be like that in this game. It really was more.
And this one is more like some kind of cocoon with a giant mouth that will still one hit kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he bounces all over the room. I threw grenades in his mouth.
To me, the pillars, the big, huge pillars that have like a stairs on the side of them. That's what I used. And I was just moving them. And when he dropped the oil pook out of his mouth, I could just go underneath to the bottom floor. He was not as hard as I thought he was going to be. I thought I was going to die 5,000 times with this dude, but no.
No,
he was easier than he was in the original. Yeah, somebody had spoiled the game of like, watch what happens. So you throw like a freaking egg at him, and I was like, egg, and I threw a chicken egg at him. And he literally like, it's like it takes off like 3/4 of his health. You're like, holy shit.
Does he have to have his face exposed or just fucking?
Yeah. His face is exposed pretty much the entire freaking fight. You know when he first comes down and like swoops up at you, you nail him in the face of one, and he goes into a stun lock, and then about 2 shotgun shells to the face, and he's dead. Okay. It's like, oh, holy shit! This game was made for speed running.
Yeah,
it was made for it.
Well, I think
the record. I forgot what the.
It's like an hour and something.
Well, they've done patched. There was a way to glitch through walls, and people were pissed off because they did.
Yeah, I think that was console. The console versions, I think, had that.
No, both of them did.
Oh, did? Well, I didn't know if the PC did or not.
See, on your PC, of course, you could just find a way to revert or whatever. But on the console, they're kind of fucked once they get that thing in. But whatever. It's like I know that they planned it for speedrunning, but it's a long game, and so it's a little bit. Unless they'll get that shit like the world record type thing, maybe like down to an hour and a half or whatever. But I don't know what that is. I know that was it 4 hours on assisted to get to S plus. I think something like that. That's long, but I think it's like 5 something on S plus on Pro.
I think so.
I think it's like 5, maybe 6 hours.
Yeah, the key on that shit, Eddie, is don't shoot anybody who don't need to be shot. That's the way to run.
Run past everybody.
Yeah.
Shoot the fucking chapel as soon as the village starts. You know. I thought that was. I saw that online. I was like, "That's interesting." You can't even technically see it.
You shoot the bell. Is what you're saying?
You shoot the bell. Yeah, you can't even hardly see it.
That's slick as fuck.
You literally go up on the roof and shoot the bell, and it triggers like immediately because all it does is trigger the sound. And it's like, I mean, you go through the village in like literally 3 seconds.
I was all set to go into my Eddy mode on my second playthrough. I'm gonna kill everybody, and I fucking just started lighting their ass up where the binoculars are. I think I killed so many people that the chainsaw guy the bell rang, and then they just left. And I'm like,
yeah, you only got to kill 15 people.
Okay.
That's another little egg they put in there at the beginning. There are 2 chainsaw guys.
So you can't get them both.
If you go to that door, if you go to the back door that's locked off for you for a while till you do the village run around thing, chainsaw guy kicks open the door, chases after you. If you kill him, and then you go into the house where Leon blocks the door, the other chainsaw guy comes in there, and you get an extra treasure.
You get you an extra gem.
Yeah, you get an extra gem to put in stuff.
I really enjoyed watching your playthroughs of you trying to figure out how to play poker with the gems. That was pretty entertaining.
Well, first of all, I didn't know that there was a hold to shift thing to see, or whatever it is.
It was so funny. Of like, I would be like, I wonder if this is the video Steven realizes he can compare the things. Kind of like the one of like, I literally was waiting for that one video to end where you didn't realize you had a scope in your inventory the whole time. And I'm like, I'm going to text and fuck with him as soon as this video is over. And then right at the end of the video, you figured it out. And I was like, God damn it, now I can't fuck with him. Because I knew it was in there. Because I would literally watch your playthrough and I'd be like, he walked right past the treasure. He walked right past the freaking blue medallion. But it's like you could, if you're not looking for it, you don't see it. But I would see it on the screen when you would walk by it. And I'd be like, there's a thing there.
If I was there, I'd be pointing it out for him.
I mean, there were some of those treasures are hard as fuck to find. There was one in the clock tower that I didn't find it on my first playthrough, and then on my second playthrough, I realized it's way the fuck up, and you have to let it drop way down before you can pick it up.
Yeah, I missed some in there too.
And you can't go back down there. Like, once you're out, you're out. That's it.
Yeah, there were 3 with Ashley that you had to pick up right there, and then you had to lower the stairs in order for Leon to get up there. I missed those on my first playthrough. It took a while for me to figure out, okay, I'm supposed to use these keys on these treasure boxes. I kept forgetting to look at the map with her. But
I texted Steven, and I was like, Eddie's going to go crazy when he realizes there's certain treasures that you have to get at like certain times. Because there's a couple, if you miss your opportunity, like you ain't going back. Even when you can still be in that area, like the clock tower. Once you get to the top, that's it. There ain't going no back down. Like whatever you missed at the bottom, you're screwed. So I knew Eddie would be like, oh man, I had to remember that for the second playthrough.
Let's write your list down, Eddie. Did you find the Beatles?
Yes.
Okay.
It took me a while. I found out about there's beetles there, and I found the first one on accident, and I was like, wait a minute, what is this?
I found the second one on accident before I even knew what the hell it was.
Okay.
And I looked it up. What do you do with these beetles? And I was like, okay, there's 3 of them in the game. Here's where the other 2 are. I'm like, okay, whatever. Because I found the first one when I was running around. They're collecting treasures, and I just see it on trees like beetle, $9,000. Okay.
The second one, I think, so the first one I found is that the one that was in the castle near the fountain?
Yeah, in the fountain with the fish.
Yeah, because if I saw fucking fish, I went after fish. I went after every fucking fish I could find just for shits and giggles.
I did, man.
So you be the bass master.
I needed health.
Yep.
And you get a completion thing when you find the giant fish and sell it.
Oh yeah, the big ass fish.
Yeah, did you ever actually use any gold eggs, or did you sell them?
I sold mine. Let me go take a piss real fast. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, y'all go ahead.
I about to say I threw 1 gold egg at Salazar, and then on my second playthrough, I realized I could just throw regular eggs at Salazar.
See, you either sell those things or you keep them for backup emergency health.
Yeah, I ended up like selling them on my second play because isn't there only 2 golden ones in the entire game?
There's
one in that chamber room, and then there's one on that island. But I don't remember.
There's one on Chicken Island, and you sell that to the guy for the completion thing.
Yeah, for the completion thing.
And then there's one you find in a treasure box.
Yeah,
because you do like, little treasure block puzzle thing, and you get one there.
That was the.
Plus, I ended up chicken there laying eggs, and you use one of them. But I would want to keep those because I kept running out of health and bullets during my second playthrough.
I was about to say, it seems like one of them was in that same room where you throw something on the freaking the poster, the painting or whatever too. But I can't remember.
you
but it didn't matter which
painting.
one you
It took me a while to figure out. Oh, you're supposed to throw an egg at the painting. So I had to, wait because the chicken just laid an egg, and I had to use it to get some health.
I did the same thing the first playthrough. I was like, ooh, goody, I can use this. And then it was like, oh, wait a minute, I was supposed to throw an egg at this. I was like, I ain't throwing this gold egg at it. So I just sat there for like 15 minutes till it finally popped out another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one thing I'm glad they kept in there was the chickens laying the eggs. I can just sit there and sit there, watch chickens, get eggs.
Every time I fucking was playing on the YouTubes, I was like, as soon as I get to chickens, I'm going to talk about Eddie. I'm going to max out my chicken eggs.
There's 40 slots in there. I got to get 40 of them.
40 gold eggs.
Yeah.
What's like the percentage drop, Eddie? What's the percentage drop of like a gold chicken egg? Is it like a 1% kind of thing?
I've never
seen
them drop gold eggs. I've only seen 2 gold eggs in the whole game.
Okay.
And I sat there and watched the chickens for a very long time, though.
I'm sure
I think they can do, what is it, white and brown?
Okay.
Yeah, white and brown.
Did y'all like the lake part where it's, the lake part really reminded me of Resident Evil 5 when you're in that marsh and you go to all those little different islands. Like, that's kind of cool that they expanded that so much.
Yeah, in 5, you get a rocket launcher, but in 4, you get a...
So in the original 4, that's not there, right?
And a treasure.
No. The only thing to do in the original 4 is there's a way back around to the merchant on the side. There's like where it's kind of like a hub before El Gante. There's a way to get there in the original. Then there's there's only one boat in the original. You don't have your boat crap out and then get another boat. But you keep the same boat, but then you go across the water to get the key to the church, and then you could go back the other way you came and go back to that dock. But there's only like 3 docks in the entire game on the original.
Okay.
So
remake. There's several places you go to get treasures.
Yep.
And one of them, Chicken Island.
I like that they expand. I mean, because they massively expanded that. Mm-hmm. So like you could spend an hour just going back and forth doing stupid shit.
Yep. Done it.
Yeah, that was probably the well, no, that's before Ashley, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was right before you get Ashley. You just run around on the boat catching
Sounds like
fish.
It's probably whenever you do a new game, go grab Ashley and then just go have hog wild and getting all the little shit that's everywhere.
No, as soon as you grab Ashley, you don't go back on the boat anymore.
You can't get on the boat? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, I don't think so. I think that part's blocked off.
Okay, so you would go, you get all the shit on the boat, then you get Ashley and do all the shit that's left.
Yeah, like in the village part.
Okay, all right.
In the village part, you gotta use her to get a couple treasures. Run away from Mendez, or you do what I did and just sit there with the hand cannon and just shoot them a whole bunch. You just got go.
Calm down there, Eddie.
I just shoot everybody with the hand cannon.
I think it was so slow. I think I used it like one time after I unlocked it. I did the exclusive thing to go ahead and get the unlimited ammo, and then I was like, God, this thing's so unwieldy that I was just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
They nerfed the power of it.
Oh, yeah, massively.
One-hit boss kill.
And so you need an S plus for the Pro to get the typewriter? Or am I wrong?
I think so.
Okay. So they want that to be your...
Yeah.
They don't want you running through the damn S plus, in your Pro mode without the typewriter till you're like a fucking badass.
So you don't need it.
Yeah, because, the others...
Or you just get A rank and have the suit of armor for Ashley. You don't worry about her.
Okay.
You use her as bait to get everybody there and use the rocket launcher.
Yeah, because they can't pick her up, when she's wearing the armor.
Okay.
Or they can, but they drop her immediately.
Yep.
How many times did y'all accidentally shoot Ashley in the fucking face?
A lot. I did some.
A lot
I
of my
shot
game
through a
overs.
rifle. I didn't do that. I didn't get a game over, but I shot through a rifle and popped a guy and hit her, and she went and passed the tape. But I never killed her.
Mine did. Mine was like she gets picked up. I get the rifle out. I try to shoot the guy. It goes through him and hits her. And
I lived off the freaking knife. Every time somebody would pick her up, I would just run up and stab them in the face for an insta kill.
I didn't know that was a thinking thing, but
yeah, it prompts that if you run up to them, you can just anytime I could stab somebody in the face for insta death, I freaking did it.
The knife
I couldn't do that with the chainsaw guys.
Pretty damn good. I like that, and of course, it was one of the best parts of them Resident Evil 2 remake as well. They started some of that knife shit in the original remake. Like you use your defensive knife into some zombie's face, and you'd shoot him, and he'd die, and then you
take your fucking knife.
You get your knife back, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or you do the grenade thing with the what's it guy in the coffin, and it was instant death for him.
Yeah, it was. So let me look at my list of shit here. You know what we're missing on this list? We ain't talked about Leon yet. So
we haven't been talking about Leon, but we've been talking about
Resident Evil. I'm talking about whether I've thought that they were going to do the Resident Evil 6 Leon, where they're just going to make his ass a wooden ass board. It's like there's no way they're going to make the corny Leon. They did like the healthy medium, in my opinion. But he said some of the most corniest, stupidest shit in the original one. But
that was the good part, though.
Yeah, I know. But they left him in as an action hero, but he's a little toned back. But I felt it's the best of both worlds kind of thing. Because he was just a wooden piece of shit in Resident Evil 6.
Parts. Yeah, in 6 he was just too straight. Like,
this
one he was
double handguns.
He had his moments, but they were still funny because they weren't over the top.
I like the yes, we all have names. Fucking line was fucking great.
Yeah.
And just he'd kill a guy. It's like, okay, one down. Or you fucking fuck somebody up and you go, huh. You do some embarrassed. Fucking you you fucking shoot a guy in the face, then you fucking roundhouse kick him, and then you shoot him in the bow. That's a fucking divine strategy, man.
Yep.
And he goes, huh.
And you just go like, huh. That freaking riot gun was a goddamn freaking beast in that game too.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
I was trying to think of anything weird about Leon in this game.
His dialogue with Ashley was way different from the original.
It was way better.
Yeah.
Because like I said, she wasn't near as annoying or whiny in this one as she was in the other one. I think they made her look the age she's supposed to be, because in the original, she's supposed to be like a sophomore in college. She's like 20, 21, something like that. And so, but she looked like she was fucking 12. And in this one, she looked like she'd probably be, 20, 21 years old. So it actually made more sense.
It's just way better, and it's a little bit less creepy, honestly.
Yeah. She looked so, I didn't realize she was so old in the first one until like after I got done playing it. I'm like, God, man, it's like but then you realize like, oh, she was like overseas going to college. And you're like, okay, this makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it still doesn't make sense why you would send one guy,
We're going to send our best man.
We're going to send one guy with a fucking handgun and some damn, some hairspray in a can to find the president's daughter who's been kidnapped. But, whatever. Who gives a shit? Go figure this shit out. We got shit to do.
Oh.
Even after they've confirmed that she's there, it's like, yes, I have her with me. It's like, okay, we'll be there eventually. Like
they're supposed to send Chris, and then Chris comes to the rescue.
And Chris verifies that, yes, Leon is there with the president's daughter.
And then
he calls in the fucking damn, the Marines after that.
Mike on the helicopter.
Yep. They sent in one fucking helicopter, with one guy. No fucking damn, artillery, management or nothing. Just one guy on a fucking like a damn G.I. Joe cartoon.
I kept trying to get into the AA gun, like in the room where the AA gun was, and then I'm like, okay. And then the Mike is flying around in a helicopter, and the fucking thing's chasing his ass. Like, Mike, how did you not out of gas or blown the fuck up, man? You're like a badass.
He's just flying around.
It's like I can't figure out what the fuck to do. You had to get up.
I ended up
you get on the machine gun and you shoot that.
I never realized
you get the rocket launcher and you shoot that early.
I just threw a bunch of grenades up there and it blew up. I didn't even realize that the machine gun was a thing. I found out that like it seems like everything has a life bar in this game. If you freaking think when you start thinking about it, like you remember the part where you have to use the wrecking ball. It's like I just threw a bunch of grenades at the fucking wall and it blew up.
Oh, that's cool as fuck. Didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, because apparently she has to bust through it, but it has like a life bar. Because I was like,
get the achievement where you kill people with it.
I don't know. I just threw a bunch of grenades at the wall, and then she hit it one time, and there was a hole in it. And I was like, well, that was a lot fucking easier. Because the first time, I was like, I don't want to have to kill all these assholes. So the second time, I was like, I will see if I can do this faster if I just blow it up for her.
Oh, that's
maybe I should use the rocket launcher on it and
I bet
see if
I bet you'd do it.
I bet you one.
Well, you know you can do that with the fucking dude with the cannonball. You know, we were talking about the other El Gante. You can just shoot him with a rocket launcher and he goes away.
I did that. And
so
it made that
I guess he still shows up, though, right? He still shows up later on when you fight two of them.
No, that's
a different
the
guy.
second one.
Are you sure that
the
armor
third
guy
and fourth
ain't the same
one you
fucking
fight
guy?
underground.
Well, considering half his fucking head's missing after the cannonball shot, yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's the same fucking guy. You got to test that out, Eddie. Yeah, it's the same fucking guy. He's wearing the same armor. His head, when he comes out,
you think they only made one of them armors? It's like they probably made multiple. Them guys, apparently, if you've got enough village slaves, you can accomplish anything. Because it's like they had like freaking all kinds of crazy shit going on in that castle. Speaking of something that wasn't in there, the freaking laser room wasn't in there. I was kind of shocked that they didn't try to do something like that.
Was it all quick time before?
It was all quick time before.
That's probably was. They didn't want to, try to.
Well, it was weird too because like you're in this fucking damn like warehouse, and then all of a sudden there's a laser room that goes into another warehouse, and it's like, why the fuck would you have this nice hallway in the middle of this shithole?
To me, it was like just playing homage to the first movie.
The movie.
So I'm thinking,
yeah.
Because I want to say that Red Queen's mentioned. When's the first time I mentioned it? Is it Remake 1, Eddie? I can't remember. They added in, they retconned Red Queen into one of those fucking things. One of those remasters on the GameCube, I think. But I don't remember that too much,
It might be 2 mentioning the Hive. You're in or Hive or Nest or something. No, in 2 they call it Nest as an homage to Hive.
And that's the GameCube one?
No, I'm talking about
the remake.
2 remake.
No, you're way. They acknowledge it way before that. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was in 1 remake.
It's in one of those. It's in one of those GameCube fucking things.
Because it wasn't in 0, was it?
I don't know if it was 0.
It was either 0 or Remake 1 because those came out about the same time, didn't they?
I would say I don't know, a year or 2 apart. Yeah, but pretty close. Hell.
And the other ones were all straight ports on GameCube.
Yeah.
They didn't really do much to them. They just kind of upscaled. Because I think they copied the Dreamcast catalog when they did it.
They added some control schemes and shit. But for a long time, the GameCube was kind of like the best one besides like for 3. I think the Dreamcast was the best for 3 for whatever reason.
I think so because it looked better.
And the
PlayStation version looked kind of shitty, even though that was the original version.
Yeah. But I guess we'll go into talking about some of these other things on my list. But what do you think about?
Talk about
what do you want, Eddie?
I want to talk about Sarah, Luis Sarah. They gave him a backstory that he was his parents died. His granddad turned into a what's-it thing, and his house burned down, and he disappeared.
Like a nutto? Yeah.
He disappears for a while, goes to college, works for Umbrella, comes back, gets recruited by Los Illuminados to only get knifed by Krauser. In the original, it was Salazar that killed him.
It was Salazar's penis in the original. Because it came under the gown. It just went shot across the room. It shot him into it went right back underneath his gown, so it was his dick.
It's retractable.
Really?
It did. You go back and watch that cutscene. It's a fucking dick.
And why didn't he try using it on Ada when Ada was fighting?
She said no. She's a fucking woman. You can't do that shit.
But he tries to slice her up anyway, and you have to shoot him in the face because he's got a giant eyeball in his mouth.
Well, maybe because, like, he had to recharge. You could, penis gets tired, and you have to wait, and,
at least 30 minutes,
really?
Bro. Okay.
You can't go swimming for at least 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, you get a cramp in your dick. It hurts. But so, yeah, as many times I played the original, that's literally his dick just came out from underneath that gown and stabbed that guy in the chest. Just funny as shit when you look at it and you think about it. But God, yeah, it's so amazing. I thought it made more sense for Krauser to kill him. To be honest with you.
Yeah, because you don't know who Sadler is. You don't really
Yeah, you really much. Don't see.
But Krauser,
Salazar until way later on in this one. Because when is the first time you come across him? Is like when he takes Ashley for the last time.
Yeah.
That's his first.
Well, the first time is a picture of a creepy dude.
Yeah, but that don't count. He don't know who.
You see him in the hallucination thing, but the first actual seeing him is when he's trying to get Ashley.
Yeah, it's literally like right at the end of the game, at like chapter 15 or something. Because
you see him later on again after the helicopter goes down.
He was standing there like a badass. This time it wasn't a rocket launcher; it was the fucking birds, the fucking the dirt daubers.
Yeah,
they were pissed.
You shot their nest down.
Those little guys were shitheads.
Yeah, they really were, man. They'd come sneaking up on you. You'd be like, God damn it, throw a knife in them.
Their attack is fast as fuck when they actually decide to attack, and then they're often a little bit just out of your sight, like freaking 50 degrees or some shit out of your sight.
And they take a good little chunk out of your knife durability when you fucking finish them off with a knife too. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
Well, I used my handgun on them only.
The handgun seemed to be.
Yeah, really. It's like the shotgun. By the time you got it up, they were already attacking you. But the pistol, it's like you could drop one in a couple of pistol hits. It was that seemed to be the most reliant way to do it.
One bolt would take them down too, and then you could just
use my handgun
about 4 or 5 on them.
Mainly because I ran out of shotgun and rifle ammo.
Sounds like you need to be using that bolt a whole lot more, Eddie. Is what it sounds like to me.
Maybe I should
try that shit out. I ended up being a pretty big fan of it, especially when he came down. If it was just me and one thing, he was going to get bolted. And
I just went for the old school bullet to the kneecap, go over, stab him in the head.
Mm-hmm.
I stabbed probably 90% of the enemies in that game. I was just like, because I was waiting for fucking ammo to get scarce, so I was like so conservative with it. I would just stab people in the head.
Mm.
Like I said, though, in that water room with the freaking levels, though, in Ashley, that's when it was like, oh crap,
That's when I ran out of ammo.
Yeah, I was literally like, I am going to be pistol popping these guys in hopes that she hurries the fuck up.
And then next room, ammo everywhere.
Oh yeah, all over the place. I was trying to think if there's any other rooms like that were just really out of the ordinary.
All three of us talked about it, so it was probably might be a dang thing that's over. I don't know.
That was all in the original. The water room had the name water room because everybody hated it, and it had water in it. But I mean, it was notorious. It'd be like, gotta fucking do the water room.
That was the worst part of the castle.
Yep,
worst part.
Probably the worst part of the damn game. To be honest with
you.
Oh, there's a lot of people bitching about the cabin fight.
The first time I did the cabin fight, I got my ass whooped. In fact, I got my ass whooped like 2 times in a row because I didn't realize that fucking Luis was like fucking invincible. Because I kept like trying to board up boards, and I kept anytime he would get in trouble, I'd try to save his ass. And then eventually I was like, wait a minute, what if I just don't do anything and I just sit here at the stairs and fucking just pop people out as they come up the stairs? And then it like instantly like flew right through it. I was like, oh, never mind. Yeah. Knock the fucking ladder off. Throw you a fucking attachable mine right there where the ladder is going to touch it, and that way when they climb up, boom, they and then you go run over there and kick the ladder off.
Yeah, I've talked about
the thing I didn't actually get to see or didn't actually bother. If you shot Luis enough times, he just shoots you back and game over.
I assume he's still in there. I don't know. I assume he did because that's what he does in the original. But I just for some reason in my head I was like, oh, I got to help this guy out. So I would spend half my time trying to shoot people, but then like when they would grab him, I'd run over there and do something stupid, and then I was like, let me just try to bottleneck these assholes, and that's what I ended up doing.
Yeah, on hardcore, they're I guess if you know exactly what to do, everything. I did not know that there was 2 ladders up on the top. I knew there was one. But as
there's stairs and then a ladder.
Yeah, as you go up the stairs, there's a ladder they can post up almost immediately across the room. I didn't know that was there. But apparently you can keep those ladders kicked down on the second part, and then you could just the bull ends up being the only thing you got to worry about.
And we call him Man Bear Pig.
Well, Man Bear Pig.
I call him Mr. Cow.
I didn't know that you could. Apparently, the best way to do him is to flash grenade him.
And stab him in the face.
Yeah. Now on hardcore, it takes 2 shots. I don't. Maybe if you have an upgraded knife, maybe 1. But you stab his ass and then you just shot him a couple of times. But shoot, I thought I killed his ass on the last run. I thought I shot him down the damn steps, and I'm freaking fighting the rest, and then it just
here he comes running up.
Yeah, and it's like. There's like 40,000 dudes in my face. I press E, and I just happened to hit E real fast. And then he fucking ran all them fuckers down. He mowed them all down with his spin to win shit, and then I was able to shoot him.
Spin to win.
But a lot of people are say're at 50 fucking men to try to go through hardcore. It's like, yeah, on there. It's like, oh boy. And then they were bitching is like, Capcom tricked me. They said that as a veteran, I need to play, if I play the first one, I need to play hardcore. So I picked hardcore. I was like, no, not necessarily. But it's one of those things. It's like, if you're not used to running that kind of shit before. Now, Resident Evil 3 Remake had that shit, Eddie. Remember the Carlos fucking shit where you're in the hospital?
Yeah, that was like the hardest part of that entire game. That part.
That was very annoying.
Yeah, it's in the first part of the village, you can kind of sort of attempt shit like that, but really you're just running around in circles and they can't get to you. So I'm sure that's what most people end up doing. Or
you kept moving, they can't get to you.
Yeah, but this time you're locked in with them shits, and so I think a lot of people just gotta freak out. There's so much ammo and shit in there. I didn't know that there was like 10 gunpowders up there near where that the window was. I didn't pay attention. Shit, that 10 gunpowders is fucking needed like some bitch in that thing because you can make shotgun with it or something.
But you just gotta have the blue and brown bags and make rifle ammo and one-hit kill things.
If you went through and looked all of the stuff that was in there to pick up, I thought there was.
It's a shit ton.
Yeah. I thought there was extra. Spray kits. There might have been just a Lysol. I think it was a Lysol, and I thought it was a damn first aid spray.
Why can't I pick this shit up? I tell you, the first couple of times I kept wasting time putting the fucking shit on the walls, the boards and shit. Mm-hmm. But then once I realized, like, I don't need to worry about that shit. I just need to worry about, like, fucking bottlenecking and staying alive. That's when I figured it out.
Yeah.
So, they rechanged how that ends. I think in the original, they just decided to go all
they decided to go away,
and then you can actually pick all the stuff up in the house. But in this one,
as soon as you gotta get all that
stuff,
it's over. You don't get to pick up any shit.
As soon as Mr. Cow hits the ground for the final time, it's over. Ashley comes in. Hey, let's escape this way.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Those guys are easy as fuck. When you have upgraded shit, they're kind of rough until
Not when you're out of ammo and you have upgraded everything, and you're just like, I can't do anything but handgun.
I didn't realize. I think it was like on my second playthrough. When I did the Chainsaw Girls, that's when I realized that locker, if you stuff Ashley in a locker, it can only take so much damage before it busts open.
Oh.
Like if they start swinging and they hit the locker, or you throw a grenade and it hits the locker, it will eventually the door will fly off of it. or fly open, and then because I was like, why the hell is she running around? And then I realized that's why, because the locker got damaged.
I put her in the locker in the upstairs and just prayed I didn't accidentally hit the button to get her out.
The collar.
I didn't have that much trouble with them the first time. I think you beat them again. I think it took out them pretty easy too.
Well, I ended up cheeseballing them with the mine thrower because you could tell where certain sections of the game of like, well, some shit's about.
Yeah, there's a handle.
Like,
mysteriously
you see that handle and you're
there.
like, and there wasn't that many people around in that area. If you notice, you're like, there's like 2 guys in this entire area, and it looks like a fucking fight, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then you remember in the original, wait a minute, if you chose that path, you fight chainsaws.
That's where they were. So
I wonder if I pick this up, do I fight chainsaws?
Like, shit's going
sure enough, chainsaws.
It's like anytime I would see some like setup like that, I would just be like, I'm about to dump, because you could pick your mines back up. Like if you got down somewhere and you could go pick them back up.
Oh, that's cool.
So I would like shoot them. I'd shoot like 4 or 5 in a spot that I thought something was going to happen, and if nothing happened, I'd just go over and pick them back up.
Oh, that's fucking bullshit. So hey,
yeah,
hey, that's great. I guess that would give you the bolt back as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking good.
Because it just counts as like, it's kind of like you just it was only that, because otherwise you lost it when it blew up, because they would blow up after a while if you didn't do something and you just let them off to their own devices. They would eventually just blow up.
Yeah, but the fucking crossbow is awesome in my opinion. There's so much cool shit you can do with it.
I'm telling you, man, you just load up the area. You'd be like, some shit's about to go down here. Let me just preload this shit.
So is the bolt gun better than the infinite hand cannon?
I think the hand cannon to me was just kind of like, by the time you get it, it's like, You
take the infinite part of that hand cannon out, it's going to suck ass at him.
Because it's fucking, you can't hit shit. I mean, and the recoil and the fucking damn fire rate so bad that it's like, I mean, it's a novelty gun. It's like you don't get it till after you beat the game anyway, so it's kind of like, unless you're just looking for something goofy.
Yeah, it's like the infinite rocket launcher.
I never did buy that one.
The infinite rocket launcher is just fun. You can just one hit kill everything.
It takes up so much room.
Complete goal. How many? Did you count your deaths out? They didn't have a total death count. I counted mine out. I did pulled out the damn. At the end, had 42 or 41 deaths.
I'm not sure how many deaths I had,
Eddie
but it's more than you.
I think more? I went back through the chapter thing,
all
and I
combined,
think I was
probably,
like curious.
I don't know.
I was curious what chapter I died the most in, because I knew it had to be the one with Ashley, and I think I had like 12 deaths in that chapter, and it was all her, because I got lost and was fucking running like an idiot.
Yeah.
And I just, you know how you get frustrated, and then it's like, the first one they got me. The second one I should have been paying more attention. The third, fourth, fifth, you're just like, fuck this shit. I just don't get.
Did you ever use the lantern with Ashley?
No,
it's one shot,
bro.
Yeah. They hit you one time, you're
freeze
fucked
the
up.
guys.
Yeah. But I'm talking about on the way back out. I got lost as fuck on the way back out. And then I got kind of annoyed and it was fucking like 2:00 in the morning too, and I was like, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah, that's when you start. You need to come back the next day, and you're fucking doing that shit the first go.
You know how it is. You try to get to a stop point, and then you're just like, "Fuck it." When I get done with her shit.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to actually speed run that section to where I can get that no lantern uses achievement thing. It took forever to do, but I did it.
I was about to say, you could probably bypass half of it when you do
if you know the clock code,
I guess you could.
Most of it. And on hardcore and pro, I think it was like 7 o'clock.
There's a cheat sheet out the way Resident Evil 2 had. That has all that stuff.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like a picture, and you just because that was kind of nice, especially if you're speed running.
Yeah. I guess we'll start trying to tone this thing down before I want to talk about this game versus like the other remakes. Is this your favorite remake?
Yeah.
I don't know. One was the Resident Evil Remastered was good. It had some extra stuff in it that was remaking the whole scene with some of the boss battles there. Yawn. Plant 42.
I think this that we'll go. Keep going.
Um, Resident Evil 2 Remake was pretty good, except for the fact that you had to actually handle the Tyrant a lot. You had to actually, you can't just put ammo in him. He goes down and he's scripted to show up elsewhere in the game. He just chases you throughout the whole thing. That was good and in a way, bad in everything else. But no. This one, 3, I'm not even going to want to talk about.
Yeah, I was about to say,
It's
3 was downloadable content.
charge you $30 for.
Yep.
3 I'm not going to want to talk about. This one was pretty good. This one was very close to the original. They redid the whole layout thing for a lot of the areas, but some of the areas they kept the same. It was pretty fun.
What do you think?
It felt like playing the first one. It felt like playing the original one again.
Okay.
For the first time. You know what I mean? Because it was kind of like
treasure hunting.
Yeah, but minus all that, because God, it did have a lot of side quests. It really made it worth actually going back and forth over some of those sections. But yeah, I mean, it felt like you were playing the original one again for like the first time, because you're like, oh, this is different, but it's the same.
Yeah.
But like in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's really nothing in it that was really bad as far as like, I mean, there were certain parts I was like, oh, I kind of missed this from the original, but nothing of like, the original was way better, just. Yeah. In fact, I used to go back and play Resident Evil 4 about every couple of years. I'd go back and play through it. I'll probably never go back and play through it. I'll just play through this one whenever I want to play through it.
So it replaces it for you.
Yeah, for me, it replaces it. Because I always was like, dude, if somebody would just come up with like an updated control scheme where I could walk and shoot at the same time, that'd be like my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
Because I played the shit out of that game.
Mm-hmm.
So this one kind of replaces it.
Yeah, for a lot of people, the original remake replaces the first Resident Evil. The only time to go back to the original Resident Evil is to watch the goofy as fuck intro, the live action intro, and then the corny ass things.
I got unlockables on the original where it's unlock the infinite rocket launcher and the infinite Colt Python.
Yeah, but do you got on a Mad Catz memory card, Eddie? Because you might not actually have that. Uh-oh.
What do you mean Mad Catz?
You fucking Mad Cat. You got your save on a Mad Catz memory card, bro? Are you Russell? All right.
No, I don't have Mad Cat.
It's probably, allegedly, it might still work. Who knows?
It's a big red memory card. I hadn't really.
Oh, that don't sound like Sony first party. That sounds like some shit.
No, it was a small gray one for PlayStation.
All right.
PlayStation 2 is I have a red memory card.
You get the Mad Catz for the PS2. All right, well, your original Resident Evil 4 save might be gone then. That'd be okay.
I bet I still got mine on my freaking GameCube memory card. I bet I still got the original somewhere.
All my Silent Hill stuff's gone too then.
You got to pull up the old PS2 and see if that shit still works, man.
But, you have to get you one of those USB converters so you can save it on a computer. Keep it forever.
Well, in my opinion, this is... I have an extremely high opinion of the first one. That's a game-changing, like, genre-changing everything. It's like, that changed
Game
graphics.
of the year 2005.
I don't think it was... I'm talking about the original Resident Evil remake. That went in 2005.
No, that was Resident Evil 4 was Game of the Year 2005.
Yeah, and then so...
I thought you were talking about Resident Evil 4.
Calm down. It's this Steve's turn to talk about these remakes. I think the first is like a legendary remake. It's the standard of any kind of remake or remaster should be put up to.
True.
Till this day. And I've recently played through most of it again, and it's fucking amazing. But I really like 2 like a whole lot because it changes every fucking thing. With it being almost the over the shoulder versus the original tank style fixed camera shit. But 2, in my opinion, starts to fall apart toward the end when you get out of the police station. So I think 2 is probably the police station is probably the best of all Resident Evil. But I like this game stayed a whole lot more better all the way through. And I remember the original Resident Evil 4. I'm just trying to get through that shit toward the end, and I thought the village was way better than the castle. I wouldn't say that in this game. I think the castle ended up being
they were
pretty
all pretty
cool.
balanced.
Yeah.
Even the island was entertaining as hell.
Yeah, and you're more like just fucking pure on Rambo on the dang island, but I like that a lot. So they end up being pretty damn stupid on that island. It's like you just walk in there. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna bolt cap a couple motherfuckers, and the rest of them I'm gonna walk in the Congo line next to me. I'm gonna kill all them bitches. But there was, and then you go through. It's like, wait a minute, there's all these like turrets and shit I could have used, but I mean, I guess not.
Wait a minute, don't forget your introduction to Mr. Pig and his machine gun on his arm.
He fucking sucked, bro. He just had a lot of hit points.
Yeah. I like that they introduced him earlier on in the game. I thought that was a nice little add-in where he comes busting through the wall at the early on, like in the village thing or whatever.
Yeah, Mr. Cal busts through with his big hammer, climbing up the ladder, and you just shoot him off.
Yeah, I never had that high of opinion of the original Resident Evil 4. I feel a whole lot better about this one, and so it's really a good. You get playing a good Resident Evil when you beat it, and you're like, man, I gotta go right through and play it again. That's the attitude I have for this one. And so this might be your game of the year this year, Eddie. We'll have to see. You got. I don't think Diablo's gonna be game of the year. It'll be the most played by far. But Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out. Zelda
Fallen Survivors you can already tell is not going to be game of the year.
Yeah.
I hadn't played it yet, but judging by it looks like it's good once they get all the performance issues fixed.
Drew's beat it. He said he started crashing. He was lucky to have not a shitty one, but he started crashing toward the end when they patched something. That game needs another damn month. The problem is they put that shit out because they need to get that shit out right now because Zelda and fucking Diablo and like Final Fantasy are coming out next month.
They had to get it out before May the 4th also.
Yeah.
You knew that's part of that shit was part of that.
But they weren't ready. That's just straight up how it is. Drew's like, my game's fun, and then that's when I would immediately say, yeah, well, Zelda. A lot of people say Zelda plays fine too, but I think the performance issue is that Zelda's always been ass. Some fuckers are going to get mad now. You're talking about my Legend of Zelda. Yeah, your Legend of Zelda runs about 17 frames a second, bro. it's fucking. But they'll get game of the year automatically goes to Zelda for no. It shouldn't.
Fair reason.
Yeah. For reasons that can't be talked about without getting banned on YouTube, automatically the best. But I really liked this game a whole damn lot. I'm probably gonna play some more after this. So, but where do you think we're going next? Where do you think Capcom's gonna go next?
I would
Code Veronica.
You think that's the next thing they're gonna do?
I would hope that they do something with the concept of multiplayer with the Outbreak series. Hopefully, do that.
I think that they saw the sales for this and they said, "Freaking green light, fucking
anything."
Code Veronica in 5 and probably a 6.
Yeah, they're not going to do. There was original rumors about the remaster of Outbreak, and it would have been probably easy to do. You could have pulled that out there in the 360 area and been done. Now you're to the point where you're going to have some kind of tank control game like that, and they are not going to fucking want.
There you go, fucking do it.
There's no way it's going to happen. They would have to remake the whole fucking thing, and when you're doing that, they're not going to remake Outbreak. You don't want to be on the damn start of the radar already. I'm just going to let you drop it down, tell you about it. You probably should just find it on emulator, and it probably works correct on emulator. Hell, you might be on the multiplayer on the emulator, but I don't. A lot of people think that the Resident Evil 9 is going to be freaking more with Rose. I'm like, nope. Fucking nope.
I heard a rumor.
There's no goddamn way.
Be somewhere out west, and it would be kind of like what 4, 5, and 8 were doing with, like, you'd have a merchant selling you stuff. But it would be somewhere out west, and you're dealing with weird mythological things or whatever, along with some weird mad science stuff.
So zombies in the desert.
I don't know about desert, but it'll be somewhere out west somewhere. It was like a long time ago. It was like a blurb thing. I don't even know if it was real.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. There ain't gonna be no the fucking Ethan thing is done.
No. I'm talking about the new character who's going to be somewhere out west doing investigations and fighting off weird mythological stuff.
I think that was X-Files, Eddie.
Yeah, just Fox Mulder in the desert. That's what Eddie's dream has come true. It's gonna be Fox Mulder at Area 51.
Man, I think they look at this and they're like, yeah, we're doing this shit. Whatever we were doing, this is what we're fucking doing. We're going to throw a 5 out there and throw a fucking damn, probably a Code Veronica and a 5 and maybe even a 6. I think this is.
I'm going to go with skill up and say first person's done. I had no problem playing first person. It still felt like Resident Evil to me, but it's done. The whole part where we're going to have like an insert type character, that's really done. That was a big fuck up. You could have done a first person mode on this with no problem, but to have it Ethan just as this blank slate, it just boring as fuck. That ain't gonna work. And so there's almost certainly going to be a remake in addition to whatever they're going to do afterwards. And I don't think they have any damn real story plan that's going to make any kind of sense besides let's bring back the same motherfuckers over and over again. It would be great if they could get... What, you found something, Eddie?
What were you going to say? You can get what?
Did you find something about the Fox Mulder and Area 51?
No, it says Resident Evil 9 is going to have a working title as Apocalypse. Plot based around Ninth Moon phase. Further leaks suggesting game will take place Ghost Town in west of America.
Hey, that sounds pretty cool.
Player will face deformed creatures that have mythological inspiration.
Werewolves?
Fucking dude, cryptozoics, man.
Vampire time, man. Have they done vampires? The guy on Code Veronica is the closest to a vampire, right? Was he called Nosferatu, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was nicknamed Nosferatu, but that was like Alexander Ashford.
Okay.
He was just a giant poison tentacle monster.
See, I don't think they're going to do a remake of Code Veronica first. People want that. That's the most thing as far as people want. I don't think the sales of that was ever that great. And if they do, that needs to be just a drastic it's something more around Resident Evil 2 or a huge reimagining of like the whole thing. So this one can remain fairly close and be the action type. I don't know if you could do that with Code Veronica. It'd have to be more of the Resident Evil 2 where you're fucking worried about each damn bullet and you gotta stab freaking a zombie in the balls 25 times. That's what I think it's going to have to be. That would be cool. Hell, they don't even have a dang like remaster of that shit. I think it's the last one they did was on 360. Is it on PS3? Look up and see if it's on PS3, Eddie. See if Code Veronica's on PS3.
It probably is. I know it's on 360.
Yeah.
I would imagine it got dumped on that one too.
I don't know if that's Xbox game compatible, but what I would think is that probably the emulated version of the PS3 is probably going to be the closest to having some sort of remaster. And so they haven't.
Veronica.
Yeah, they haven't done much to that.
Oh, Veronica. Yeah, it's on Xbox.
Yeah, let's see if it's on PS3. Back in the day, you'd think they would have them on both, but a lot of times it would just be on Xbox. But that's probably the Xbox 360 version is probably the most updated version of that. 'Cause it's not on PC at all, I don't think. Or if it is, it's like the original down.
There's some available. It's kind of playable for PS5, but you have to do some weird stuff here. It says I don't think it's for PS3.
Kind of for PS5 doesn't make any sense, Eddie. We'll have to look up what the fuck.
It's called you emulate it.
It's on PlayStation 3. It says here.
All right, that's what makes sense.
PS3, GameCube.
And so what they're talking about is it's probably on like cloud or some shit. Fuck, that would not be the best version of it. Fuck cloud.
It'd be terrible.
Yeah. So I don't think Code Veronica is on their radar the way them fans want it to be. I also think it's where Code Veronica kind of jumps a sharp as far as the story because it's just so stupid. I could see a Resident Evil 5 remake, but if they make that shit single player, I'll be pissed. It's just like I've already heard people like, they need to get rid of Shiva. I'm like, no, the fuck they don't. It has to be damn 2-player. and it probably needs to be split screen.
That's what made Resident Evil 5.
Yeah, that's why you got idiots over there.
2-player.
I was about to say, if only they could make it jump and drop in, but I don't know how that would work story-wise.
It was fairly good because you could have someone join at the next little mini chapter thing.
Yeah.
But the performance is what's easy because this game's on PS4. It's like you're gonna have a split screen RE type game. Now they have multiplayer games because Monster Hunter is RE, and then so is Monster Hunter Rise is, and then so is Street Fighter 6. So it ain't a matter of multiplayer. It's a matter of how can you get performance in a fucking split screen game that'd be worth the fuck.
I don't think whatever comes out next is going to be on PS4 anyway.
Yeah,
because they skipped Xbox One, so it's like it just seems like you might as well just skip PS4 on. I mean, because we're talking like at least a minimum of a year before anything would come out anyway.
Oh, if it comes out in a year, it's fucked. Whatever it is.
That's what I'm saying.
You just assume something's in trouble.
I mean, I can't imagine whatever their next thing is would be on PS4 at this point. It'd be like, let it go. Be done with it. I
would definitely be down for like a remaster of like the original 1, 2, and 3, like a collection type thing, $20 or $30. I'd be onto that. I know they would charge like fucking $40 for each one, like dicks, but
oh yeah.
I'd definitely be up for that. But I don't think a lot of people think they're going to do just a remake of 1 again. I just that's very possible. They're definitely going to. I don't think that would be the next thing. That needs to be a little bit down the line, in my opinion. But I mean, then the problem is that's so claustrophobic that I don't know if it's going to work over his shoulder the way. I don't know. Maybe you pull it off, but
you have to make everything massively bigger.
Yeah, and also for something like that, I would want different kind of shit. I wouldn't be like, I would want something fairly different, at least along the line of Resident Evil 2 remake, where there's a lot of shit's different. But it's one of those things. Does not need to happen. It's going to happen. Something's going to happen. They're going to remake 1 sooner or later. But I don't know. And of course, there was Revelations 3, which I'm assuming has been canceled. But there was a couple stories that Village was the original Revelations 3, and then there's actual screenshots here and there of something going on with Rebecca at a college that it might have also been Revelations 3. I would definitely want a damn new raid mode. It'd be great if they made a side game just raid mode, but they stupid. They
don't figure that out.
Yeah,
that would be awesome as shit.
Yeah.
That's what they need to remake is Revelations.
Just
remake Revelations.
Yep.
Make it where it's touch TV, and you just rub your hand over the screen.
That's so you can reveal Jill's clothes with the touch controls.
Yeah, the touch controls with the fucking damn. So you can stare at her ass the entire time going up and down ladders against the fucking goo monsters.
You touch it, you rub up on the TV, and her butt pops up a little bit because it's like you got to jiggle to it. All right, it's sexual harassment, fucking built in.
That's what they got to do.
I've been thinking about pulling out Revelations and then trying to get us some play, but you know what? That fucking the grind was so bad, dude.
Oh, it was terrible. But I enjoyed raid mode like all get out, but it was like I don't want to go back and redo it.
Nah, the grind was so fucking bad. Maybe me and you and Eddie going to play some Remnant one day. Me and Eddie's going to play through it. It ain't the same, but it's still a third person fucking horror game, but it's more like a I mean, I don't know. I had a shit ton of fun in Remnant. I know if you played it, you'd like it. But
I still gotta get treasures in that.
Why are you worried about you don't have to get the fucking treasures, Eddie. You don't have to get the achievements. You can walk away from that shit. Eddie's like, no, the fuck, I can't.
It's like you just put the controller down and wander off. It's like that fucking episode of South Park. It's like where fucking Craig's like, it's like, I'm going home. I'm done. You can't just do that. It's like, yeah, I can. Watch me. He's turning around, walks off in the middle of fucking Brazil. Like, I'm just going home. It's like, I'm done. Don't give a shit no more. This is how you kids get into shit. Y'all see stupid shit. You're like, I got to go over there. And he's like, no, I'm going home. And he walks off. I love that episode.
Diablo's coming, Eddie.
The treasures.
It's going to get in your way of your treasures. Diablo's going to get in the way of your fucking treasures.
No, it don't. Diablo's got treasures.
It's It's going to play real bad. It's going to get this treasure goblin. It's fucking going to have your shit's going to be so gimpy because you chasing that fucking goblin around. You're going to be fucking not leveling up and being powerful. When you get to the goblin, you can't kill a shit.
Yeah, you can.
Chase her 5 fucking hours.
You know what's weird? It's like I played that part of that, the beta thing, and I'm like, I just couldn't get into it. It felt different. It felt like 2 mixed with 3, mixed with Path of Exile. So I'm wondering if, like, maybe when it comes out by then, I'll be like, but.
Well, hell, man, if you ain't hyped for it, then you ain't got to freak your mind out. It just comes out and you just play it. But shit, it's like 3 weeks out, I think. Yeah, about 3 weeks out.
Yeah, something like that. And it might have been because Resident Evil 4 just came out at the same time.
That's definitely what it is.
And I think that's probably what a lot of it was like, fuck it. I'm still playing through the first playthrough of Resident Evil 4 at that point.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry played some of mine while I was playing, I played the Diablo 4 demo. I got as far as it would let me, then I got to this hub area, and I was like, what do I do now?
Oh, and Diablo 4, you just kind of wander the fuck about and do whatever you want to. But hey, man, I'll get my 100 hours in it. We'll do a podcast for that, and probably Street Fighter. I need to play a shit ton more Street Fighter, and I know I'm going to, but we'll get some time in. I'm loving the fuck out of that demo that they didn't give you, but basically a street to play on. But dude, it's freaking ridiculous. It's ridiculously fun. You just challenge everybody. They're nearly all what would we say, body positives? They're all fat fucks. They're all fat fucks, and you just hit random on your It's one of those things where we're going to be inclusive, and so you just hit random, and all your ladies got beards and shit and fucking beer bellies. It's yes, let's go, bro. Let's go out there and commit my damn body positivity violence. Beat the shit out of everybody. It's going to be super in depth for a single player game on Street Fighter. Like there's all these like secrets and like I think you could set special moves. They didn't let us do that yet. I'm like, it's in your mind. You're like, man, I could throw sonic booms and fucking 360 out of the shit. It's like, yeah, bro. But there's a lot of fucking good games coming out. But we're gonna try to get some Resident Evil time in before they come out. But that's a lot of shit's on the radar real soon.
A lot of stuff coming out this year in general. Just pretty loaded year.
Yeah. So you got Jedi Survivor, you got Baldur's Gate 3. Probably, Final Fantasy 6 is a definite now. 16 is a definite. Whether it's good or not, that's literally, I think it's more Devil May Cry than Final Fantasy. We'll find out. And then potentially 7 Part 2. It's like, yo, I'll put you interested in 7 when it's actually out. Whenever the fuck that is.
Yeah, when the whole thing's out.
Yeah, when the whole thing's out. But I'll try it then, and it'll probably be just play Jason's copy. But there's a shit ton of games coming out. Remnant 2's coming out, Eddie.
Isn't Tekken coming out this year also?
I keep seeing it every time I open up Steam.
I suspect
Remnant 2.
that Tekken will hit this fall. What they do is they're competitors, but they're also like friends with each other, and so they're like, we're not going to release our fighting game at the same time as yours is. But you're looking at Mortal Kombat 12, which has not been revealed yet. I know it's probably done. They haven't revealed it yet. And then Tekken, they're probably going to spread that shit out. And then fucking Virtual Fighter, Harada's talking about the shit. He doesn't want to release it cross virtual. And I'm like, okay, well, what the fuck does Virtual got going on? And watch it be a fucking PS5 only game. Piss me the fuck off. It's almost certain what it's going to be. They'll do something stupid like that. But a lot of shit's coming out. Forza.
September 2023 is when they have a date for Remnant 2.
Hell, this guy fucking 7 comes out this year. That's a big Steve game. But no, we're freaking stacked, dude. And hell, Resident Evil might still get Game of the Year, all that shit. We'll see.
It's early in the year.
All right.
Resident Evil 4 gets Game of the Year twice.
Any final thoughts there, Eddie? Nothing.
I like to look for the treasures.
I think you look up the fucking Ashley's skirts. What I think.
No, treasure hunting was fun. The egg hunting was fun.
That's
knifing things was fun.
Different kind of treasure. You gonna knife it too? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
We'll lock it in. Lock it in and bank it. He's gonna knife Ashley's treasure.
No.
But hey, man.
Skip Ashley.
Yeah.
Chad,
let's play some Remnant or Resident Evil 5 or some shit one day. I didn't know.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop.
I wonder what it's like going back to play through Resident Evil 5 now. I bet that feels very clunky.
It's gonna be more like I gotta get more treasures.
The start and stop will get to you, but
I would imagine after the first chapter you'd be so used to it you wouldn't think anything about it.
You'd be right back to where you were. It's no problem.
Yeah. That's the way it was every time I played Resident Evil 4, the original. I'd be like, oh man, I forgot how this was. And then after about 5 minutes, you'd just be right back doing it.
I already know that you could get a crank-ass resolution. I don't know if you can get past 60, but you got to remember the last time we played Resident Evil a decent amount was 30 frames for 360. Yeah. So you would get 60 minimum, and it might do more than that. It's going to be weird to play Street Fighter. It isn't a real 120, but you can activate 120 mode. The game's still built around 60, but you can get 120 on it, and so it's going to be weird to play things like that. But once you play something like that, once you actually do, like I played most of this game at 120. You like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. But yeah, I'm going to stop it right here. Hang on.